Thank you. So there are, I think prior to that we were having on the slide, right? So I wanted to, focus more on development and SDET side, because this institute also belongs to the same thing. Data scientist is also one of the part that you're also doing the same thing, but I wanted to come to that point later on. But SDETs are manual testing, right? Then you do write some scripts. It may be then Selenium, some different automation tool. Because I was in Java, or I'm in Java, so I know Selenium very well, Cucumber, all the stuff. How many people know about RPA?
I know, sir.
Could you please?
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Robotic process automation.
Robotic process automation.
No,
UI
I'm not expecting the full form of that. I mean, what it is.
It's a codeless tool
Robotic processing automation, process automation.
where we can drag and drop the
Okay.
Mm.
Cool. You
Blue
tried it.
Prism and UiPath are the
blueprint
tools.
automation. In.
Okay. Thoda easy जाते हैं. So manual is you are actually manually doing things, logging into the system and then clicking on the button saying this form is got saved into your database, and you will again go and view that form, whether that is saved into database. Automation is actually getting the XPath or all the stuff, finding the elements, putting the value, clicking with the code, and actually getting the data. RPA is the last thing, or I would say the better thing than this. You don't also have to do all the time automation as well. You'll write some code which will always create automation test case as well. So one code, it is not a codeless. People are saying in AWS as well, serverless, but it will never happen that there is no server and you are running your website. There is some server who is using someone else's server. That is called as serverless. But in RPA also, you'll write some code which will create the automation test case as well. You don't have to write automation test case as well for each and everything. So that is RPA, right? So we started with the manual. Now we started writing the coding, but now we're writing the coding which generates the code, which runs the automation. That is RPA, very easy language. Being a developer, you will be front end, back end, and then full stack. Full stack is little bit now, I would say, a very big topic or big concept, because being a full stack is kind of difficult nowadays, because front end got so much, they actually incremented their entire world is differently altogether. You have the Node script, you have React, you have Angular, and all the stuff on the front end side. You do a lot of manages things on the front end itself. You just get an API and you do everything, manipulation, data manipulation, UI manipulation on the front end side. So now the work from the front end side becomes huge. That's the reason people sometimes move to the either front end or the back end. But it is always good to learn full stack, because you don't know which section that you'll be liking, because it may happen some people, some girls generally like the UI, the designing part, Rangoli and all the stuff. So they go with that front. People like backend, we just develop their backend, APIs and will give you do yourself. But it is always good to learn full stack, because you know the entire system. Even if you go into the one criteria, you'll still learn what front end is doing. Should also know about giving API to the UI team. You should know about what UI is doing and what they'll be able to do. Even front end also should know about what backend can give me, and what are things that I need to do on the front end as per the product requirement. The last but not least is data, artificial intelligence and ML. Now think about any machinery. Before that, people were grinding grains with hand. Now we brought a machine. Now there is a grinding machine which grinds the grain and gives you all this flour. Now, once you set up a robot which will grind the machine, which becomes as an AI. Now, grinding that machine, you found out some of the parts that are not actually grinding well, not making proper flour. And slowly you're understanding that this part needs to be improvised, this part needs to be improvised. That is called as machine learning. That you learn from the machines and improvise your own machine. But there is separate person who is managing things called as artificial intelligence, who is actually managing that machine. And we taught very well that robot to do this grinding. But you don't know what machine actually performs. You just know, I do this stuff, get this thing down. We don't need a human there. But to make that robots, we need a human. No one can replace that. Now, top tech business trends. There are several studies came in. People, you know about Gartner? Anyone heard about? So there are several organizations who does analysis on different companies and found out some points and saying that this company is good with this is good in cybersecurity, this is good in storage, and they do ranking. And they have their own chart where they see people are challenging, struggling, or doing well or earning well. Those kind of charts they are doing. At the same time, they also founded 5 to 6 years back. Those companies are using AI ML. They are actually going with the latest technology and they are doing good. Now there are two things happened. Other company thought of, why don't we have AI and ML? We need AI ML developer right away. And then they started searching for the people. People even don't know about Java, how they can do AI ML. And so in that case, they just hired people and started saying that we do support, we have AI ML in our product. Just created one of the algorithm, if else, done with the ML. And they are saying we have started supporting ML. Artificial intelligence, we have another product who is actually playing with this product and getting some threads, some outputs from that product. We also have the AI. So that hype actually came in because of this Gartner. Here, they always make a point saying that this is the latest should have, this is the things that you should have in the product. Then we can mark you to the beta. Now, why they are valuing Gartner as well? If company saying we don't support AI ML, what the heck, why we should support? But if Gartner marking you point with the saying that you don't use that, meaning is they'll not be able to sell things. If you see a product on Amazon, you better go with the review first. And let's say that is a reviewer company, which is called as Gartner. If you are getting bad reviews, why you buy that product? Similarly, in the software business, if you're getting bad reviews from Gartner, no one will ever try to buy your product. That is the reason they have to follow these companies. They have to get connected with them, find out the options, find out the top trend things, and then do that in your product. That is one of the business how it goes. So then that every company has to go with the AI ML, whatever their product is. Even they have just chatbot, they still need to think we have to have ML, we have to have AI and all the stuff. Then data analytics. Now, I would say, how many people use Instagram in the here in the room? Everyone, right? Right. So Instagram has everyone's account. They have your birth date, they have your name, they have your email ID and all the stuff. What is that data? You go on the banking section or you go anywhere, you have all the information, all of the people informations will be available on that place. That is called as data. Now, if I am talking about this data, let's say few girls, few guys, you'll be liking some post, you'll be unliking some post, or you'll be following, unfollowing things. Instagram has that information. That is called data analytics. Accordingly, I can also see if some girls are looking at cosmetic products or they're looking at the reels of that cosmetic products, I got to know this girl is interested in the cosmetic products. I should show some advertisement of that cosmetic product. And if she's looking at mainly in the lipstick side, I'll show that information. How they do analytics. If one single person visits a site on the website, you see one advertisement, that is called as one impression. But that one impression creates 27 or 30 entries into the database of their people. They see your location, they see your device, they see your browser, they see your actual who are you, I mean you are male, female. They also look at the categories as well, caste as well, everything. I was in the media domain, we were having in one single impression 27 entries on our database. So we know a lot of things about yourself. Moment you go on Amazon, you see two products and you stop thinking of, no, I don't want to buy this product, but you go somewhere else and visit different site, you'll see the same product there within few minutes. How it happens? It is all about data analytics. We have your data, we'll do analytics, we know what you need. That is called as advertisement or data analytics. Then there is a third point, quantum computing. Quantum, this is one of the word came from actually physics, quantum physics, if you people must have learned or heard about it. There are time, space, and all the stuff that we always learn from the physics side, but people also thinks about that conscious mind or unconscious mind of people also creates some different things around that physics. Our consciousness, unconsciousness with the physics called as quantum physics. Now, how that come to the computing? Our thing, our body. Now we have the ECGs, which do our heart tracker. We have smartwatches, which will track our heartbeat, blood pressure, SpO2, all the stuff. We also have brain tracker recently, Shark Tank India, I had that session as well. People also able to see the ECG of brain as well, right? So this is called as quantum computing. So it is mainly in the healthcare center, people see stuff, what helps you to give better inputs, outputs from that technology about our health. Metaverse. So people who have used any VR, that VR box, right? That is called metaverse. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg is one of the, I would say, leader into this, who created this VR and started saying that 3D feel of each and everything. Now, metaverse is also becoming very popular these days. People are having movies to be watched on that VR, playing the games, having roller coaster side. The first time I used the VR and then roller coaster slide on that Google VR, I omitted. I thought I was in roller coaster side and I'm feeling like this. Next minute, so this kind of feel came from the metaverse, and this feels so much happening. Even if you are not there, you're still feeling the same thing. So that is the metaverse actually, hitting you a lot and giving you more giving you more, I would say, the happening things in life. So people are actually focusing on the metaverse as well. These are 4 things. Now, what the heck? The last point that I have is what? Then where is automation? Where is Java? Where is Python? And what you're saying, right? Prior to do any and everything, you'll have to understand the product. That is called, let's say, one product that you understand. Let's say understand we need to build a lift software program. What you need to understand, lift should go up, go down, and in between, if someone press the button, should stop. You should also have the sync up between the lifts. There are 3 lifts. If you click on the button of the lift, all 3 should not go up. Why? To waste energy, right? And you should have that smartness into that product. All doing this stuff, learning from the machines can come as ML, but prior to that, you need to code. You have to that software ready to go up and down all the together, right? Also the hardware as well. So even doing all this stuff, you should have basics to be clear. Nothing can be done without automation, Java and Python, all these 4 stuff. You started creating the metaverse, quantum computing, data analytics, AI/ML. Go ahead, start learning Hello World program, then patterns, and then all stuff, and then get some understanding of how programming is done. And then try to correlate things from the real world problem, and then actually writing the code. Now that one basic layer is ready, then you'll be able to do some AI, ML, data analytics, quantum computing. There are several examples happened in my life. Some of the data scientists being had in our company, in different companies, I would say, into last 2 to 3 companies, because of that Gartner make so much hype, we need data scientists. They joined. They created on the paper or the slide that I wanted to do this stuff. This is the algorithm steps and I wanted to do it. Well, okay, good, you do it. No, I don't know the coding. If you don't know the coding, how you can understand technically how you want to map or how you can to execute that plan with some technical things, right? We start with 0, we don't start with 1. If they're starting with 1, then there is no point in asking or discussing with them. Basic question. So doing all this stuff, you should have basics to be clear. How we can make that basics to be clear, I'll cover up later in part of the game. But everything comes on all these 4 aspects. You should know about what is Java, what is coding, what is designing, and all these doing things, what we can automate things, right? So going to the next slide. So far, so good, right? Any question? Cool. Now this is real world business problem. Why business? What they are doing business and what they expect. I was in sales, pre-sales call. There were our first scratch product in last company. So they wanted me to be joined there as architect and see what customer is expecting and what is the problem. So I got to learn a lot from the executives and product management team, what business actually expect. We understand we have the skill, but company also has their own expectation. Our expectation is to get good job and get salary, but it is not about that. It is also about company should know how much valuable you are and how I can earn money better than you, or rather I'm giving you salary 1 lakh, I should be able to earn at least 1,50,000. That is the work they are looking for. So how they expect and what is their expectation? This is the first point. Grow business with technology. They definitely want to grow their business, no matter in what domain, right? If you know about the Maersk company, which is the largest, sea shipping company, you see a lot of containers in Maersk. They are on, I think, 1 million containers across the world across the sea at the same time, across the world in the sea at the same time. Meaning is 10 lakh container उनके शिप में होते हैं at a time. तो बाहर कितने होंगे और कितना बड़ा बिजनेस करते हैं. They need a technology to reduce human efforts. इतना सारा रिकॉर्ड कहाँ रखेंगे? How they can manage things? They need a technology, definitely. Bringing more virtuality to reduce human efforts. So obviously the software things that we are learning today, we need to reduce human efforts. Third is improvise process day by day to get more productivity. This is the machine learning in software terms. When the process we are saying, in the business we are saying, improvise the process. Let's say we follow the process, we'll go to the lift, we click on the button. Now we come back and waited for that lift. And then once the lift arrived, we started entering without looking at the people who are actually inside and they are looking to go outside, right? So that is the process is not going good. Rather, we should wait until people come out and then we'll enter. Things getting learned from these experiences and will improvise process to get more productivity. People saying you talk to him, then he'll talk to say his manager, he'll talk to his manager and they'll get your approval. No, it should not happen like that way. It should happen a process that I should have some problem or I should have some task that should be get approved from the senior manager. I should be able to talk to that person. That is the reason IT companies started open door policy. You can talk to anyone. No sir, no bosses, nothing else. You directly go ahead and talk to them. No one will ever say that why you came here. They'll ask or hear properly, listen, okay, this is the issue, this is the problem, then they'll take their next decisions. But it's not always that मैं हर बार जाऊंगा, वो नहीं होना चाहिए, but should better too. Bringing safety in all aspects, right? So safety, there are two safeties primarily about our product, what we are building, about our employees, what the premise you are working for, how much safety security you are getting, what software cyber security you are bringing, and you are actually bringing that security. Delivering things as well. If you are hardware, if you are having hardware business and you are delivering that stuff to somewhere else, इसलिए आज भी चाय ऑर्डर करना डिफिकल्ट होता है. कैसे लाएंगे क्या मतलब? So there are people who are delivering these things with some different boxes and all those together, but having 10 rupees tea, now it is 60 rupees because of that box. So safety matters. You should be able to deliver things in right way, right time. Then improving tracking help with the technology. There are HRs who mentally help you to be more active, and there are also different things. People generally, have some health checkups and all the stuff, but companies follow that. The last business to be in autopilot mode. So people know about autopilot mode is like we don't need to do the driver don't need to do anything, pilot don't do anything, plane will still go, right? We start thinking of the one thing that I wanted to go to Hyderabad. So you started thinking of that, you booked the flight. That is how we started the business. My agenda is to reach to Hyderabad. That is my business. Now I started thinking what I need to do for that. I need to book a ticket. Then I'll book the ticket. Then I see the timing. Then accordingly, I'll book Uber. I'll go Uber with the flight, the airport. Then I'll onboard, basically, boarding will happen. Then I'll wait for the flight, or probably there will be buses who will drive you to the flight. And they'll on the flight. Now here is the point. Your product starting taking off, right? Meaning is you'll have to have a lot of efforts to take off your flight. That is how business starts. You'll have to take a lot of efforts to your business to be settled. Now that will go to the one similar or expected height, and then they'll be settled up there. Meaning is you got to the point, your business started in autopilot mode, what Avinash is doing today. And that goes in like autopilot mode. Even if he's not there, business will run. That is one primary agenda of any business company has, that they wanted any software, any product to be in autopilot mode. Once you join, you'll hear a lot of time this autopilot mode. Not immediately, but yes, after a few years of experiences. We had to talk about the companies, their expectation, all this stuff, but what we should be and how we can get such opportunities, right? So that is also one of the part. These are 4 points I directly copied from my several companies, and this is what we evaluate. So far in my 11 years of experience, I cannot count, but had around thousands of interviews in my life. And we do primarily track all these 4 points against that candidate. We see how much accountable he is, helpful, adaptable, and focused. And then we mark that candidate with these points. And then last, we see the summarized things. even all of the 4 aspects, if you are not matching or coming to that mark, we definitely reject it. In thousands, I must have chosen 200 people only. 800 got rejected. Right. So it always go with these 4 points. And looking at this, I wanted to explain 4 points. I think better explain what all these 4 points. Accountable. If your company hiring as a programmer or the QA tester estates, I know you should know about the basic skills. You should be able to do better coding. It's not about writing hello world, I am able to do the patterns. It's not about that. Go ahead, see Geeks for Geeks, Hacker Rank. Then there are several different websites which helps you to grow your business coding skills. But there they don't ask you to write pattern coding. Rather, they'll be having a exact real world problem. There is a weather forecasting company or weather forecasting institutes. They wanted to track their temperatures, and one fine day they should be able to understand or know about. Now we started with summer. You see the rain. Now we started with the rainy season. We should be able to see the winter season. So how we can track that? That is one single problem I got into the Google. I had cracked that interview, but that was a one problem statement that I learned. And accordingly, they get you, they'll provide you some lot of real world problems and should be able to crack that by writing a coding. The second point, it's not about coding only. We'll be writing coding without try catch exceptions. We'll be writing code without understanding of the performance. We'll be not choosing proper data structures. We'll not choosing proper design patterns. That should also get evaluated with your coding experience. Since you are starting, probably if you are having experience, how many people are having experience more than 2-3 years in IT? Or everyone is how much? Okay, cool. Okay. So if talking about coding, I think we do evaluate if the candidate is having more than 3 years of experience. We see how much proper designing is doing, how much proper coding data structure he has chosen, and how it's doing well. But in case of freshers, it is not the part, because we know in college what we did. I also did the same thing, copying the internship project from somewhere else and going for intern. Don't know what to do. So that is not only one part. Even if your entire life, even I'm having 11 years of experience, I should not always consider myself also just be accountable. I should have better coding skill, good designing skill. I should be able to take ownership of whatever I'm getting as a feature to deliver. And fourth thing is about domain understanding. That is very important. In wherever company you're working for, you should understand what company is actually having business for. They are getting help from our technology, what we are developing, but that's not their own business. That may be their finance, bank, cybersecurity, storage, networking, anything else. Should know about that domain as well. Because it also happened that in one of my example, cybersecurity, when people kept password as a standard text field, you'll be able to see that field. It should be password field, right? Or it should be encrypted field. Rather, it wasn't password field. It was password field, but not encrypted. So if you don't keep that encrypted and you reopen that form, that came into the HTML body. And if you change that type password to text, you see the actual text. So if there are caches, you'll be able to find out. If I go to any cyber cafe, someone is logged into that system, logged out. Okay, no worries. Go back. But that cache is already on their system, right? I go back. I found out the cache. I found that form. I just make that field as a type text. I got the password of that person. I already have the username at the time. Start. I started logging things. I doing all the bad things I wanted to. Having that kind of understanding is very important. So better to know about the domain understanding, right? It should also be helpful. Now, these are 3 different categories mainly focused on the freshers. Because accountability is kind of minimal expectation from the senior folks. Even last month, I had a freshers drive. Been having, I think in 3 days, I had around 20 interviews with the freshers. So I don't look much on the coding side, but you should know basics. Huh? You should know data structure. You should know how much basic flow that algorithms you'll be able to develop. You should know what is the design patterns, at least 2 design patterns. You should know how software works, how testing works, or how things you can do, right? Code coverage and all the stuff. Clean code probably cannot come to you immediately, but clean code is one of the big concept, and I mainly focused on. should be able to write a code in a way that if some other developer comes in, should be able to understand. Kichmit kala nahi. So talking about accountability, we do less focus on that part, but these three different parts, we do focus more, which is one of the best point is helpful. Basic things you are ready about coding, but now it should be helpful. I'll be asking you one question. Let's say you have some prioritized tasks and your one of the best friend asked you to help him or her. What are you gonna do? Best friend, I'll help him, but your priority task is still on hold. How are you going to manage things? I generally ask these scenarios to the freshers. It is kind of difficult to take situations, or I would say the take decisions. But to have the better answer for this is, even if it's my best friend, I'll look at his problem or query. I'll see if it is taking a lot. I'll ask him or I'll suggest him better to wait. I'll do my prioritized work and I'll then help him or her. And in case it is very quick one, why to wait him? Rather solve that quickly and come to your prioritized things. Depend on the time. It's not about your best friend or the priority. It's about the timelines. Right? One, let's say there are 4 to 5 people joined in one of the team and they got different tasks. And the next task assignment, prior to that, they should discuss each other that what you did, what was the task, how you solved it. You should be, having that kind of curiosity, which is my third point, but you should be having that point. And going above and beyond meaning is once you learn things, try to convey to or help or rather explain that to other people as well. So that next time what their task getting as the same, what you already got, they'll be able to do quickly because you already gone through that and you know what to do that, how to do that. So that should be having in your attitude. And that helps a lot in our assessment as well to see if he is helpful or she is helpful. Communication is very important. It's not about English, Hindi or Marathi. It's about the communication. It's about conveying things or getting understood of what other person is saying. Even in my company, we generally talk in Marathi. But it's not about when we started talking about the US people, we started talking Marathi. No, we talk in English. It should not be a barrier to yours, should not be on your goal that I should learn very good English, but you should have the basic English ready, which will help you to understand from others as well as you will be able to explain in the same language. So better to have good communication. And it's not must, but it is always good to have. A lot of people or a lot of freshers got hired because of good communication. Because they thought, oh, very good English, hired. But I don't go with that. Better write a code. I'll see that. And then because ultimately he's not going to communicate every day. They're going to write a code. So think about your primary aspect should be technology or coding or automation. Second is communication, but that cannot be ignored. That should also be focused. How you can improvise. There are a lot of things are available today on YouTube, on Udemy, on Pluralsight, and anywhere you can learn from there. And then drive and curiosity. So once you got the thing, now being some years of experience, you got to be leading on one of the team, 3-4 people team. You should be able to drive things. It's not only about you do coding, it's also about you driving things, meaning is you are asking for people to do that job. In that cases, might feel that people are not doing well. What one of my friend yesterday was explaining things because he got 5 to 6 people team and they were freshers and they are not actually doing things what he is expecting because he is senior and he's capable of doing things, and it took only 4 hours to me, then he should take at least 6 hours, 8 hours, but he's taking 4 days, 5 days. Then sometimes you feel that should do coding yourself, but no, it's not like that. You should know your position, you should know your authority, and you should know your responsibility. That are 2 primary aspects. So you should be able to drive accordingly. You cannot go ahead and do always coding if you are lead or if you are doing things, or once you get your peers or buddy. Generally any of the company you joined, you get assigned with one of the buddy, you might be senior, and later part of your game some freshers will assign to you as well, and you will be his buddy. You will be training him or her. This is our product, this is how we do coding, this is the process that we are following, that kind of stuff. So that is one point to driving things in software company. And curiosity. I would say even doing all the stuff. Have anyone asked any question to Avinash that why this session? That should be asked for always, because even if you're doing or delivering one single feature, why we are doing it? Once you understand the value of that, why, then you will be able to do in very greater sense. हमें पता है कि ये चीज क्यों करनी है, तभी हम अच्छी करेंगे. Otherwise we won't. Otherwise we'll just be doing like a donkey does, taking material and shifting it there. We should not be doing that all the time. We should always ask as a curiosity why we are doing this. Now, second point is we are doing this, okay.
Hello, sir.
What the worth of this? Hello.
सर अगर क्या होगा, अगर हमें पता होगा कि हम ये क्यों कर रहे हैं, तो हम क्वेश्चन क्यों पूछना चाहेंगे?
हाँ, वेरी गुड पॉइंट. सो आपको ऑलरेडी पता है तो क्यों पूछेंगे ना? इट्स लाइक you already know the joke and then why you are telling it again, ऐसा हो गया वो.
Yes, sir.
Correct. But yeah, if you already know about it, then that's very good point. Curiosity is not only about we are doing things, it is also about there are three different approaches. There are three different steps. I wanted to reach to, let's say, Dange Chowk. Either I'll go from Vishal Nagar, either I'll go from the Kalewadi, either I'll go from Rahatni. So why three different approaches into your processes? You should again ask why, which is the best way to do it, right? One developer can come up with different approach. There are three different developers, architects can come up with three different approaches. Then there is also another why we need to go with this kind of person's approach. In my thought process, I generally don't go with your approach, my approach, or his approach. Let's bring that to a table and let's discuss which is the optimum. It's not about you give us a good suggestion, he did good. No, it's about three different approach, not the people. Think about those, which is the best one, and then go ahead. Never ever think about that my idea got rejected and I'll never think about that again. Don't think about that. It might happen that you at least tried yourself, you got some basic understanding of that and you got with idea, but you got a better approach with someone else. Try to learn from him as well or her as well to see why that idea got selected and what are the different pros with that, and accordingly think again, and beyond that you will be definitely getting one of the best idea compared to any other one day. That might be taking long, small, I don't know, but that is how our approach should be. Next slide is adaptable. Emotional intelligence. That is what I was talking about. उसने बताया, मैंने बताया, तो मेरा क्यों नहीं सुना? And there is also happened that there are three different, generally happens in girls and friends, right? There are close friends, happens in girls and boy both, close friends in the same team. Now that same close friend is not helping you for a couple of days. After office, you will going to kill him. क्यों नहीं help कर रहा? That starts with you are actually impacting your own development things. Why you're waiting for him? There should be someone else. Manage your emotions. Don't think about he's your best friend in the company. If you're starting creating a personal relation in company, you'll never be able to success. Never. Because you are not focusing on the business, you are focusing on the relations. And your focus got changed, meaning is you're not able to get that much productive things, what you wanted. Right? So think about that. Also, emotional intelligence is my manager is not helping me, my seniors are not helping me. Don't go with that. Why don't you try harder? I would say keep trying harder, but try yourself at least. See what things are coming out. You don't always need to be a spoon feeding. Sorry. Generally in colleges, we heard a lot of times that I don't want to spoon feed, but initially in the business company or the tech company, someone spoon feeds you for a couple of days, couple of weeks to understand what is eating. And then you started eating your own way. So someone is there who is going to train you again, probably give you the way, or I would say the approaches, how to develop things, how to deliver things, or what is the process that we need to follow. But after that, you should know everything, or at least the things that is needed in that moment, how to deliver. So that way you should have better relationship as a professional, I would say, and be good with all your managers, even if he is not, helping you. Bure managers hote, aise hote. People also having a lot of different codes. People don't leave company, they leave bosses, right? So but don't go with that, quotes, because if you see professional problems, you have options to not escalate to your manager, rather his manager as well, or her manager as well. You can go upper level, get things done, or at least convey your message. If no one is helping you, meaning is you should leave, but you'll definitely get some people in the upper management, they'll help you. Probably they'll shift your team. But having emotional problems with your work, that creates different pressure altogether. And that impacts your life, health, and actually your performance into the company. Next time you won't get that increment appraisal because of these kind of issues. So better to, sort out things quickly. Embracing change. So having, in IT company, let's say how many people work on Java or the full stack developers? No one is doing full stack course here.
They are doing full stack course, but they are not working.
I mean, how many people knows about Java? Okay.
Almost all of them are knows.
Know about Java. Sorry. Okay. My mistake. I was in. Okay. Okay. So many people know. What is the latest version of Java? 17. 18 is the pipeline. And do you know, since Java 11 to 17, how much year we saw that this evolution happened? Around 3-4 years. In 3-4 years, these many versions got changed. They are bringing a lot of features into the Java. Earlier, there was no var in Java. Now there is. You can create a variable called as var and things. And it is now auto boxing things. Unboxing, if you must have learned it. Now, talking about change, meaning is you are getting different versions or latest features all the time. Also, you are also getting different product requirement as a different change to your product as well. So that is the point. Change is constant. We are always talking about, but we are always thinking about being stable at the given point in time. मुझे नौकरी मिल गई, अब मैं खुश नहीं, वही से तेरी चालू होगी. The problem is we should think about embracing the change, meaning is whenever any change happen to your development, product, even if the life, we should be able to adapt that quickly. We should know अब मेरी शादी होगी तो अब झेलना ही है, तो वो समझ में आना चाहिए. जितने जल्दी झेलोगे उतने अच्छे रहोगे. So those kind of stuff, even in the product company, we get a lot of different versions to be updated. We recently got 17 upgrade. And few things got deprecated, so we had to change some code. Now, people on my team thinking about why we need to upgrade these things. We are breaking the code. Things got deprecated, but it's not about that. It's about getting better features to have better development in the future. Right? If you're getting 17 features, you are getting modelization. You don't want to create multiple microservices and multiple instances. You are doing things in one place. If you're getting those kind of features, then changing this basic deprecation method aren't really big business for us. We should embrace the change. It is also not about one single team. You might getting shifted to different teams. ये सीखना है, फिर company change करना है, वो भी करना है. So always be ready on that front. You will get every day a new challenge, new change. Try to embrace as quickly as you can. Then there is a resilience and overcoming adversity. Resilience is being stable in bad time. मेरा बुरा चल रहा है तो मैं at least resilient रहूंगा. I should be on a one fine stage where no one complexity, challenge, bad things impact me. I am that much resilient and I know what I'm doing. I should just to be keep watch on, keep working, keep hard working. And overcoming adversity. हम इस बुरे पॉइंट में क्यों है? क्योंकि कोई बड़ा प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है. Adversity is nothing but a problem or bad time. And how you can come out from that problem is what you need to think. We don't need to be always resilient because we don't always do in bad days, but we should also finding out a way that how I can come out from this. Trying harder, trying better, day by day. Obviously, it may impact a lot of emotionally, mentally, but if you be a stable and resilient all the time, you'll get good success, always. And that will teach you a lot of things. As a life in experiences, you'll never get down again. Then focused. We also check things on how much focused he is or she is. First point is greed. Greed is nothing but a complex thing or challenging things or anything things. You should yourself feel that every day I'm doing or working on some challenge. You have some big complex task to solve. Think about that. What I said just now before that, talking about the lived algorithm, right? If you learn Java, try to create a program and see how it works. Because my favorite question to the interview, if anyone comes in the interview in my company, that will be my first question. Write a lived algorithm. And then I'll talk about that next upcoming, processes. So see that challenges. Don't write a program that finding the circular linked list, tree map, and all the stuff. See the real world problem. You see the signals is there. You have some timelines. After some time, this signal gets up, this, then that, then that. Write a program for that. Try to solve the problems which are actually having real problems. Once you started learning about that, then nothing like it. Then any different problem statement your customer is bringing to you as a product, you will be able to quickly correlate things to your code, and you'll be able to explain things. Oh, we'll be able to do this way. Customer will be happy. We'll bringing that feature to him. We'll getting money. Majano life. But you should be feel always challenged. Then the second point is prioritization and type management, right? So that is very important in our thing. How much priority I should give. I started learning Hello World, Java, and immediately I got one reel shared by my friend, and I just watched that one. But no, I didn't stop that time. I start scrolling. Oh, next. Oh, very good. Hello World, hello bacha, world bacha hi nahi hai. World idhar aa gaya. So you should be always, prioritize things. Give some time to your, obviously do anything you wanted to on social media as well, but give some time to that specific moment, right? So even if someone is sharing you thing, obviously in this age, if someone of your best is sharing something with you, we skip everything and direct go and watch. Okay. Try having prioritization to those stuff. If you're not able to prioritize, it is very difficult. In our era, I mean, we were having books and no phones. So we were able to focus things because we didn't have anything. But now today, there are a lot of disruptions in our life. Within a 1 minute, there is a 20 seconds or 50 seconds reels. Within a minute, you see 4 reels. One is emotional, one is, happy, one is funny, and one is great. How much emotions we are changing in a minute? How our body hormone should react to these, right? So this is the one of the biggest challenge in this era. So try keep mobile aside, your emotions aside sometime, right? And then focus on your actual work. So think about this. I'll do coding for 1 to 2. Okay. Don't do 4 hours, 5 hours. That's fine. But at least you will be able to see how much focus you can be once you try doing those kind of exercises. And this is really needed. We do ask questions on this. So how do you manage your time? Freshers, I ask, what do you do for your hobby? Like, so you suffering, you like traveling, or some people say, I like listening music. Okay, it's good hobby. It's very good hobby. Which singer do you like most? No, I like all. Okay. Which kind of category songs you like most? No, I like all. I reject these people personally. Because even in that category listening a lot of things, you still don't have your choices. Then how you can be, in at least if you are listening music, you should be intelligent in that sense. Okay, I like, let's say Lata Mangeshkar very well. I, in 80s era, 90s songs, I love a lot those songs. Or in Hollywood as well, I like Billie Eilish or all this stuff. Okay, but you should know about those things. If you are doing things, you should always keep your intelligence or mind focused on that front as well. Just keeping headset up on your ear and listening things doesn't really help. Rather than go and do something else. Then team focus versus self-focus. I generally ask this question not to the freshers, but to all the experienced people. If team is having 4 different requirements and one of that requirement or that story is got completed by you, what you will do the next? Then people will say, I'll ask my manager, this task is done. Then why you need to ask your manager? Rather, you should have idea about your team. There are 3 different tasks are left. Should better go involve with them and help them to get delivered. So how you manage things? There are different reasoning and different understanding around this. Probably explaining these things, I won't be able to explain everything right now, but I go with the scenarios. and it goes in interviews. Probably if you want anyone to have mock interview, I can take it right away, but that can give you some different idea on how generally we take interviews. And it's not about my perception, right? So it's not about my years of experience. Till now, whenever I'm having as a partner in interview with my senior, I try to learn from him. There are a lot of people, a lot of freshers are not able to explain things, but when we ask them to write code for this specific algorithm or specific problem statement, quickly solves that. What that meaning is, he may be having bad communication. He never had those kind of explanation in his life. Not able. A lot of people have a lot of different, very good knowledge, but they're not able to explain things. That is one of the problem with the people. So we are not here to present coding every day. Rather, developer should do the code. To those freshers we had. So we generally keep half sections with the theoretical things, half sections with the coding things. And once we got to know coding is okay and good, then we immediately shift to all these different things: emotional intelligence, greed, helping nature, and overall the attitude. You should not be able to answer all the question all the time. Even being me as a 10 years of experience, in some of the companies, I was not able to explain things or not able to answer things because of I never worked on or I never gone through that. We do also the same thing. It may happen that you get people who not able to answer things that you wanted to have, but आज तुम्हें ये चीज पता नहीं है, but तुम्हारा एटीट्यूड करने का है कि नहीं, we always check about that. If you don't know today, that is fine, but I'm explaining you to do these things and you are accepting that, and okay, I'll do this. That's the best part of your life should have always in your mindset, because can do attitude always help in your growth in career. Now I don't know now, even you can interviews you can say I don't know right now, but I'll definitely read out about it, I'll explore about it. You can tell about that. The person who is taking interviews will feel more good because you now showed up your can do attitude. Okay, I don't know now, but I'm going to do this, or probably I'll explore this. बहुत सारी चीजें इसी से सिलेक्ट होती है, and I select these people. I think this would be the last but not least, not taking you a lot of time, but last is time to relax. Work or study life balance. Hey, everyone knows seesaw, right? So at the one person sitting this side, other person sitting, and then we stand up, then this seat, all the stuff. We try to balance these things, study and life, but we don't balance this way. We rather stand in between of that seesaw and trying to balance both the things, because here is a life, here is a study, all this stuff, or here is a work, here is a life. Ultimately, what is going to happen? There is a pain in your thighs, your legs, right? Slowly you will get more stress, then till to your brain. Never ever try to balance things. It won't happen. It won't. Rather try to be on one side at a time and be focused. Okay, now I'm working, I should focus. Now I'm studying, I should focus. Now I'm enjoying with my friends, I should enjoy. I should not think, oh, मेरे से ये coding रह गया exercise. नहीं, वो पहले कर ले, फिर enjoy कर ले. This is how it should go. If you are enjoying with friends or you are being with the friends and thinking about exercise, and if you are in now here in this session and thinking about having some party with friends, doesn't really help in your life. You should focus. Wherever you are here, enjoy. You are there, then that is different altogether. Enjoying self time. We don't give self time nowadays. If you get some free time, reels. Don't do that all the time. Rather sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, take a big bottle of water, or for my friends, and then sit and think about yourself, what you're doing in your life. What is my priorities? Am I really going good? Evaluate yourself. No time bound. I mean, it is not about early morning I go with God and me aaj ye karna. No, it shouldn't go that way. Rather, you have your self time in any time, but in that time, focus on yourself. Give your time to yourself as well. Think about what you're doing, what you need to do, and then do it. That gives you sixth sense to your body as well, and then helps you a lot to improvise your things. Third and last point of this slide is growing your hobbies. People must be having hobbies like playing things, listening music is okay. I don't like that hobby to be as a hobby, but if you like that, go ahead and do that. People liking to be play flute, like Avinash, or people like having different hobbies as well. Try to grow that, because that hobby will always help you when you are in resilient mode, in adversity. What I was talking about in difficult times, that helps you a lot to come up early. That actually releases, or sometimes it may happen that we'll never focus on good things. It always happens on this wall. We saw one black spot. We don't focus entire wall. We focus on that. So we focus on bad things, and that's our human nature. But in that case, you need to come out from that. You should have some hobbies altogether. And that should be grown up. So do that. Hobbies cannot be but yeah, it can be any playing things, or rather it can be playing sports. It can be reading books. I think reading books is one of the best hobby. Even I do have one book. Recently I was U2 is just 50 pages book. U squared. So this highlight of this book is high velocity formula for multiplying your personal effectiveness in quantum leaps. Here again quantum. But what this means is there are only 4 points that they explained, right, in 50 pages. Quit trying harder. Quit trying harder. Meaning is don't always try harder. If you think this is really harder for you, step back, just try hard and see if it is not working, stop it, or rather skip it. Think beyond what common sense would allow. It always happens that we generally go with the approaches what everyone suggests. Common sense. But think beyond that. You might get some better idea. Make your move before you are ready. So you are thinking a lot of time that I am not ready yet. I wanted to do this coding, but I'm not ready. No, we start it. Once you start it, then you'll start learning it. Most difficult part in our successful story is just to take one step. We don't take that step because we see there are huge 10-floor building and I'm not taking that one single step. Start with that. Last is look inside for the opportunity, meaning is see yourself what is challenging things and see what the best that you have. Many people have their best is they are very good in, let's say, coding or not technical things, but they are very good in managing things. Because here everyone cannot be manager, but some things are saying I'm very good team player. See what is the best opportunity you can bring from your attitude and work on it. And last but not least, thank you and question and answers. I hope I didn't take much time of yours. Thank you for bearing with me. Any questions? It can be any informal. I mean,
you guys can ask any kind of question that you have, and do not bother about the language of the question. You can ask in Hindi as well. Don't worry about that. आप हिंदी में भी सवाल पूछ सकते हो. आपको जवाब हिंदी में मिलेगा. Don't worry. ठीक है? So just
I know Hindi, Marathi, English, Telugu. So any language is okay.
Hello, Rahul sir.
Yes. Don't call me sir. Generally.
Okay, Rahul. My question is, how important is staying up to date with emerging technologies and trends in IT industry, and what are some strategies to doing effectively?
Okay, very good question. So this question is what he asked you what to know. He asked how to be, in line with the emerging trends. What is the, coming into the technology and how we can be more effective in that front. I would say no, you shouldn't be, always be in line with the emerging trends. Rather, you should be good with your technical stuff. Basics should be ready. I mean, you should know one language as an overview, what it is doing and how it is getting compiled, executing and things. Then you will be able to correlate that with a different technology. Now think about one trend or one technology you learned about. Now there is new emerging trends coming in. We just need to read the basic description of that. Rest of the things you'll be able to map. It's just about reading things, not about exploring things. One time it may happen that now ChatGPT is very much popular these days, right? So you go ahead and write things there and you get code. But there were some persons who were actually writing code to generate this. So being with a ChatGPT, I don't see you should know about ChatGPT all the time. Rather, should just learn about, okay, there is one code which is generating code or answering new things. That's it. I mean, you don't have to be, all the time reading things. Rather, you should exploring things yourself, finding out real world problems and solving them. I hope that does answers this.
Thank you, Rahul.
सर
Yeah,
अब आपने किस बुक का नाम बताया अभी?
U squared. My camera is on. मतलब U and then there is a U raised to 2 ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, so U squared.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
Hello, Rahul.
Yes, Bhushan, yeah.
My question is, what is the biggest challenges facing in IT industry today, and how can we overcome these challenges in our career?
I think biggest challenge is, I'll just go back and with this, but let's say this one. So biggest challenges, I wouldn't say there won't be a biggest as in case, because in any of the tech company, they're already making their business. Why they'll think that is the biggest problem, but and don't try to solve the biggest problem. You won't get that opportunity as a fresher. But biggest problem talking about is to get things delivered as early as possible. So if I got a feature, let's say Amazon, recently Flipkart was fresh, na? Amazon fresh and Flipkart is grocery. Correct. So Flipkart delivered a feature as a grocery. Now Amazon has to be in line calling it a fresh, but how quickly they'll be able to deliver? That is the biggest problem you can consider. If your competitor is able to deliver new features today, how early or quickly you will be able to deliver that feature on your site as well, so that your audience won't lose or won't go away from your site. That's the problem, being competitive. Now, being competitive, having said that from the product management, but the technology side, we should know about how we can automate things, how we can write automated code, how we can write such utilities which can build up this kind of stuff. So that generally varies based on the company requirement all the time. But being competitive is biggest the problem, and if you are able to crack that quickly, nothing like it.
Thank you.
And AI, ML, data analytics, yeah, these are, just I would say high points. Of course, they are helping a lot, and we are doing these things. But if you don't know basics of any language or how any technical coding goes, right? So then don't touch these points. Don't try to go directly on second floor. Better to have first floor ready and then second floor. So basics are very much needed. And even if you go directly data analytics, you'll be able to understand, you will not be able to implement. So I got to know how to make a road, but I don't know how to create a raw material and place it on the road. It doesn't really make sense. Should know the coding first.
हेलो.
Yes.
अगर हमें नई टेक्नोलॉजी अगर फ्यूचर में सीखनी है, मतलब अभी AI/ML नया है, डेटा साइंस है, तो इसके इसका जो है ऑथराइज्ड सोर्स लर्निंग करने का वो कौन सा हो सकता है? मतलब कहाँ से हम सीखे कि मतलब यूट्यूब में बहुत सारा मतलब कंफ्यूजन ज्यादा होता है कि कौन सा करूँ कौन सा ना करूँ, बहुत सारे वीडियोज है, कंफ्यूज करते हैं, लेकिन मतलब एक कौन सा सोर्स है जहाँ से हम सीख सकते हैं?
Very good question. That's what I said, don't go to directly second floor. So you go YouTube, search for what is AI, ML, and we try getting things from those videos. No one generally put wrong information on YouTube. They'll be able to try to explain things whatever they can be, and we don't understand those. Why? Because we don't understand the first step itself. So that's the very first point. But if you wanted to know about the sources about AI, ML, there are different sites. Udemy.com is there. You search for their AI, ML, or if I can directly go here. Let me see. Jerry, who is one of the person from the Google, I would say. This is the guy put all these videos on Oxford University channel of YouTube. There you can see the better ML programming. You can understand from there. I think I won't be able to find it right away, but because Oxford is very fast to put things quickly. So I think there is one channel, Oxford playlist on Oxford. They have the proper sources, and he is one of the Google scientist for that machine learning, and he explained very well there. But even learning that, you should know about statistics, mathematics and statistics, machine learning. It's not standard way of just reading steps and you will be able to do AML.
Okay,
So,
thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Rahul.
Yes.
As you said, you take interviews for fresher as well as seniors also. So my question is that what preparation we should do as a fresher, I mean, for a automation tester for an interview?
Okay. I would say, first of all, if you are doing automation, you should know how to automate things. So you'll be getting some scenarios and asking you to do some, coding, finding out elements, getting form data, validate it, and then see and getting result of that. So there would be technical questions already, or of course, which helps us to analyze what coding or what better you at the automation side. The next half would be, I would ask you to how you doing, what is your life, and about, basically I wanted to learn about your personality as well, whether you are can-do attitude personality, plus you are helping and you are talking in good sense, you are able to listening or you are properly listening to me. You should be proper receptor in those concepts. So half would be the technical for the freshers and half would be the personality. That generally goes in that way.
Actually, what happens if we are fresher that जब हम इंटरव्यू देने जाते तो फ्रेशर होते तो इस वजह से हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस तो लूज रहता ही है थोड़ा बहुत।
अभी रहते हैं, अभी भी रहते
तो
हैं।
अगर कभी कभी इंग्लिश में भी बात करने जाओ, अगर पहला इंटरव्यू हो तो कभी हमें वो प्रॉपर वर्ड डिस्क्राइब करने को हमारे पास नहीं होता, या फिर वो मतलब हमें पता होता है लेकिन हमें इतने जल्दी से वो अडेप्ट करते नहीं आता कि हम क्या बोले इसको। तो एट दैट टाइम अगर हम हिंदी में कंटिन्यू करें तो उसका कुछ इफेक्ट हो सकता है क्या?
इसको ना थोड़ा डिप्लोमेटिकली हैंडल करना चाहिए. सो इन माय अर्ली स्टेजेस एज वेल आई हैड द सेम लैंग्वेज प्रॉब्लम. हेजिटेशन तो होता ही, और उस टाइम पे याद भी नहीं आता क्या बोलना है. इस टाइम पे ना ऐसे कभी नहीं बोलना कि मैं हिंदी में बात करूं, क्या कैन आई स्पीक इन दिस डिफरेंट लैंग्वेज. डिप्लोमेटिकली स्टार्ट विद इंग्लिश बेसिक. या दिस क्वेश्चन, हाँ इसका तो एक्चुअली ऐसा है, एंड देन आई थॉट ऑफ, एंड देन ऐसे. सो व्हाट विल हैपन इज यू आर ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन थिंग्स इन इंग्लिश बेसिकली यूजिंग हिंदी वर्ड्स इन बिटवीन. So what is going to happen is, person who's taking interview, he is even not feeling कि हाँ हिंदी में पूरा बताया मुझे, trying to speak in English, but in between हिंदी आ गई, and वो actually question का answer पे expectation करता है, is not looking for your language that time. तो उसको डिप्लोमेटिकली हैंडल करो कि बोलते समय बीच में थोड़ा सा एकदम ही अटक गए कि अभी इंग्लिश में कैसे बताओ, तो बेटर गो अहेड एंड क्विकली वो हिंदी एक दो वर्ड्स में उसको समझाने के लिए आपको आएंगे तो बता दो, चलेगा ना, क्यों नहीं. इट्स नॉट अबाउट the affection on that interview, it's about handling it effectively.
मतलब वापस इंग्लिश में भी आना है बेटा.
हाँ मतलब हाँ एकदम ऐसे देखा जाए तो सामने वाला बोलेगा हाँ मैं इधर पुणे का था, मग कुठे राहतो काय मी पण इतर. That should not go away. It should be professional in all the manner, but explicitly don't say that can I speak in Hindi. What does that mean is you don't know English. तो प्रॉब्लम होता है. वैसे नहीं करने का, उसको ऐसे ही संभालने का.
सो मतलब इंटरव्यू के समय बोलते बोलते अगर एक दो वर्ड्स हमें डिस्क्राइब नहीं करते आ रहे, वो हम हिंदी में भी बोलते, और अगर आगे से भी इंग्लिश कंटिन्यू कर सके तो इट दैट डजंट मतलब मोस्ट अफेक्ट नहीं पड़ेगा उस पर.
एक बार आपने हिंदी में बता दिया ना तो थोड़ा सा कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा ना, तो आप बाद में इंग्लिश बोलना स्टार्ट ही कर दोगे, हो जाएगा वो। फर्स्ट जो
Thank you.
हेजिटेशन होता है ना कि सामने वाले के साथ एक बॉन्डिंग बनना इंटरव्यू के साथ, वो प्रॉब्लम होता है। सीनियर लगता है, बड़ा लगता है, तो सामने आके तो ऐसे ही फटती रहती है। तो प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है कि हम स्टार्ट नहीं करते बेसिकली प्रॉपर। उस टाइम पे हमने अगर बेसिक स्टार्ट, हमें पहले 1-2 क्वेश्चंस आपको हमेशा यही पूछे जाते हैं, इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ, राइट। उसको अच्छे से मत और प्रिपेयर कर लो, उसको एकदम कैजुअली, एकदम ऐसे भी माय नेम इज दिस, ऐसे भी कवर मत करो। थोड़ा सा कैजुअल लुक दे दो उसको कि हाँ माय नेम इज दिस, आई वर्क और रादर आई डन माय कोर्सेज कॉलेजेस हियर एंड ऑल द स्टफ। तो आपका जो बेसिक पहले 2-3 स्टेटमेंट हो जाएगा ना, सामने वाला भी कंफर्ट हो जाता है, तुम भी कंफर्ट हो जाते हो, तुम्हारी इंग्लिश भी चली जाती है बाहर तब तक, तो थोड़ा बन जाता है माहौल। नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, उसने कुछ टेक्निकल पूछा तो जनरली स्टार्ट नहीं करता है टेक्निकल, जनरली इट स्टार्ट्स विद इन योर करियर, राइट, जो भी रहता है रिज्यूमे में कि अच्छा तो ये यहाँ से कॉलेज करा, ये इंटर्नशिप का प्रोजेक्ट किया, तो दे कैन स्टार्ट विद एक्सप्लेन आउट योर प्रोजेक्ट। नो क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली कम यू टू यू जनरली, मतलब बुरे इंटरव्यूज भी होते हैं, वो स्टार्ट भी कर सकते हैं कि डोंट इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ, टेल मी ट्री मैप। तो उनको छोड़ दो, वहां पे सिलेक्शन होना ही नहीं है अपना। बट जहाँ पे जनरली स्टार्ट करते हैं तो वो आपके रिज्यूमे से ही पूछते हैं, पहले 3-4 क्वेश्चन तो उसी के रिलेटेड रहते हैं। उसी चारों क्वेश्चन को, आपका इंटर्नशिप का प्रोजेक्ट रहेगा, आपका कोर्स रहेगा, कॉलेज के बारे में रहेगा, आपके हॉबीज के बारे में पूछ सकता है डायरेक्टली कोई। सो वन ऑफ द गर्ल वाज हैविंग हॉबी ऑफ कुकिंग, सो आई आस्क्ड हर व्हाट इज योर बेस्ट कुक डिश टू कुक, टेल एवरीथिंग। यहाँ मुझे होटल थोड़ी खोलना है क्योंकि सबको चाहता है। so prepare on those front. You will be getting first 4 to 5 questions from your own resume. आपको खुद का रिज्यूम नहीं पता होगा तो आपको कुछ करने नहीं आएगा, उसी पे आपका कॉन्फिडेंस चला जाएगा। और पहले 5 क्वेश्चन आप इंग्लिश में दे सको ना, नेक्स्ट में बीच में आप हिंदी थोड़ा मिक्स करके बता दिया तो भी वो थोड़ा कवर हो जाता है, उसका कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। सो पहले हम वो रिज्यूम पे ही करना चाहिए काम, एंड दैट शुड गेट रिव्यूड।
Sir, I was lecturer. I have 4-year experience, but from 7 years I am at home, and now I want to enter in IT. So profile में क्या डाले, एक्सपीरियंस डाले, एज एक्सपीरियंस या फिर फ्रेशर्स डाले, वही समझ में नहीं आता।
ये आई थिंक बहुत सारे गर्ल्स और लेडीज के इसमें प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं। हमें ना एक्चुअली क्या करना चाहिए, जो भी ऑथेंटिक है ना वही दिखाना चाहिए। मतलब आपने लेक्चरशिप करी तो बेटर ऐड दैट एक्सपीरियंस इन योर रिज्यूमे, 4 years of experience, and it took a gap because of your family priorities, I would say. So you give priority to your family, so add that, that's fine.
Okay.
At the end इंटरव्यूअर में हमेशा यही देखना चाहिए कि सामने वाले को क्या आता है, उसने क्या किया है, उसके पास में क्या है, why should I bother about it। मेरे आज 5 क्वेश्चन है, 5 टेक्निकल है, 5 पर्सनल क्वेश्चन है, जिसमें आप सक्सेस हो जाओगे तो आई शुड हायर यू। नो मैटर आप 20 साल के बाद करियर में आ रहे हो, टेक्निकल स्टफ में आ रहे हो, कुछ कर रहे हैं। सो दिस इज हाउ शुड वी लुक फॉर।
सर अगर इस तरह से एक्सपीरियंस डाल दिया ना, सपोज naukri.com के प्रोफाइल पे नौकरी के, तो वो एक्सपीरियंस वाले जॉब्स दिखाता है, तो फिर बहुत प्रॉब्लम होती है। तो
नहीं, उसको एज ए एक्सपीरियंस मत डालो, उसको बस डिस्क्रिप्शन में डाल दो कि आपने 4 years लेक्चरशिप करी, आपका एक्सपीरियंस 0 ही दिखाओ फ्रेशर्स।
ओके ओके।
आपने लेक्चरशिप टेक्निकल में ही करी थी?
हाँ, यस, इंजीनियरिंग लेक्चरर प्रोफेसर।
हाँ, but it's still, if you did some coding you can add that, but generally teachers experience and development experience are altogether different, so better उसको description में ही रखो।
ओके ओके
क्योंकि वहां तो दिखा दो कि 4 years का एक्सपीरियंस, मेरे सामने आओगे तो मैं 4 year वाले क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा ना, तो आई विल आस्क यू क्वेश्चंस डायरेक्टली स्टार्टिंग विद लिफ्ट एल्गोरिथम, डिजाइन, लो लेवल डिजाइन, हाई लेवल डिजाइन, तो फिर प्रॉब्लम ही हो जाएगा। देन वो इंप्रेशन भी चला जाता है, अपना भी मूड चला जाता है। तो बेटर है कि हमेशा जेन्युइन रहो, जितना किया है उतना ही बताओ, क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम आई एम एबल टू कैच पीपल, जो फेंकते हैं ना उनको पकड़ सकता हूँ मैं। व्हाई नॉट, ऐसा कोई नहीं ना, there is no gap, there is no gap, you did a lectureship and now there is a 7 years of gap, there is no gap actually as a development perspective, you never did a coding in your life, this is your first job, so you will be freshers, that was all together different. There are few people working with me which are more than 60 years and working in US as a software developer. They are junior to me and they are reporting to me. They had a huge 30 years gap, if you your terms, working in different industry. But it's not like for them that they started career at 45. Rest early 20 years they did somewhere else. You are just freshers for developer. Be that. No one you're gonna look for that Y gap. Rather, you should have better kind of resume preparation in that case, what you did in these years. So you can add that 7 years to family prioritization. Add that. That no problem in understanding any person. I am also man. I should understand that I have wife and kids, right? So I should understand people's aspects and priorities. Business is all about trust and authenticity.
How to study? Getting the courses, but how to study? Right way of studying.
I think,
Way or my way?
yeah, so there are several websites. If you are doing automation or coding, I think I would say, if you know lead code and HackerRank. So start with HackerRank and then go ahead with lead code, because lead code is kind of for experienced people. And start with Geeks for Geeks as an understanding of your any concept. Geeks is one of the sites which helps you to understand all this design pattern, coding, algorithm structures, and then you practice on HackerRank and you have advancement on lead code. She was having something.
Hi, Rahul. As you have mentioned, you are working on cyber security and then ML and full stack. तो मेरा भी यही प्रॉब्लम है कि मैंने ऑपरेशंस में किया था, उसके पहले मैंने सीडैक किया था, और सीडैक में कैसे रहता है कि मेरा ब्रांच था साइबर सिक्योरिटी, और प्लस उसमें था पाइथन एंड जावा. तो मैं सर्च कर रही थी कि जावा मिल गया तो जावा, नहीं तो साइबर सिक्योरिटी मिल गया तो वो. तो मैंने स्विच किया टेकएम में एज अ ऑपरेशंस. फिर मुझे तो उसमें लिनक्स वगैरह सब कुछ था. अच्छा, हाँ. और उसके बाद मुझे चेंज करना था कि टेस्टिंग और डेवलपमेंट साइड. तो मैंने वैसे दिखाया कि मैंने टेस्टिंग वाला पोर्शन किया था, मतलब टेस्टिंग पे काम किया था, तो उस टाइप से मैंने वैसे दिखाया. तो आप कैसे करते थे, मतलब एक टेक्नोलॉजी स्विच करते समय आप कैसे मतलब शो करते थे रिज्यूमे पे? क्योंकि अगर मैंने अभी टेस्टिंग किया, समझो मैंने टेस्टिंग का बनाया पूरा रिज्यूमे, और अभी मैं साइबर सिक्योरिटी के लिए ट्राई करूंगी, तो वो मुझे बोलते कि आप फ्रेशर ज्वाइन करो. लाइक अभी मुझे अगर जो भी पैकेज है तो वो मुझे वो सेम मैच करके देंगे, वो मुझे डबल करके नहीं देंगे, क्योंकि वो बोल रहे कि आप अभी फ्रेशर हो. वो नहीं समझेंगे कि मैंने सीडैक में किया क्या है. करेक्ट. वो टेक्नोलॉजी मैंने पढ़ी थी, पर अभी जैसे मैं काम कर रही हूँ दूसरी टेक्नोलॉजी पे कर रही हूँ, तो वो मुझे हाइक दे ही नहीं सकते. तो क्या कैसे करें हम, मतलब
आपको करना क्या? नेक्स्ट व्हाट इज योर फ्यूचर गोल?
जैसे आपने किया साइबर सिक्योरिटी, उसके बाद फुल स्टैक वगैरह, तो वो आप कैसे शो कर देते हैं, मतलब? अच्छा, ओके. First of all, cyber security was domain of my career. Yeah. But I was Java developer since day one. Okay. मैंने इंजीनियरिंग जो MCA करा, उसके बाद जावा डेवलपर था, आज तक वही हूँ. बट मैं डोमेन में साइबर सिक्योरिटी में काम करता हूँ. तो साइबर सिक्योरिटी प्रोडक्ट्स बनाती है मेरी कंपनी, उसमें मैं आर्किटेक्ट हूँ. बट टॉकिंग अबाउट योर क्वेश्चन, आई थिंक विच इज रियली जेन्युइन. जावा डेवलपर फुल स्टैक का कोर्स किया. ना हम सोचेंगे कि हम तो 2 रिज्यूम बनाएंगे, एक ऑटोमेशन का बनाएंगे और एक जावा फुल स्टैक का बनाएंगे, एक फ्रेशर्स का बनाएंगे, एक्सपीरियंस, तो 3-4 रिज्यूम बनाएंगे. तो बना लो, जैसे कॉल आएगा ट्राई कर लो. आई मीन नो हेजिटेशन इन डूइंग दैट. यू आर लुकिंग फॉर एन अपॉर्चुनिटी इन ईदर ऑफ द वे. तुम्हारा पैशन तुम्हें दिखाता है कि कोडिंग ही करना है, तो तुम एक रिज्यूम बनाओगे. अगर तुम 3 बना रहे हो तो तुम्हें बस जॉब चाहिए. यू आर लुकिंग फॉर योर एस्पिरेशन. सो अगर वैसे करना है तो वैसे करो. डिपेंड्स. आई मीन आईटी में लोग आते पैसे के लिए है, कुछ तो आओ कमाओ, इससे क्या प्रॉब्लम है. आपके पास साइबर सिक्योरिटी का एक्सपीरियंस था, आई वुड से कि देयर इज 3 डिफरेंट पोजीशंस दैट जनरली हैपन. सिक्योरिटी एनालिस्ट, एंड देन इट गोज विद सिक्योरिटी इंजीनियर, एनालिस्ट, इंजीनियर एंड मैनेजर्स रहते हैं साइबर सिक्योरिटी में, और सीसोस बोलते हैं हम उसको. वो ऑल टुगेदर एक वेगड़ा अलग सा ही एक है, अलग सा ट्रैक है. तो वो सब ट्रैक अभी चेंज हो गए ना, जैसे मैंने. हाँ, तो आपको फ्रेशर ही कंसिडर करेंगे. आपको क्यों? आपको एक्सपीरियंस है नहीं डेवलपमेंट में. आप दूसरा एक्सपीरियंस डेवलपमेंट को कैसे मैप कर सकते हो? जैसे इन्होंने भी आप लेक्चरशिप करी, दैट कैन नॉट बी अ डेवलपमेंट एक्सपीरियंस. इट इज ऑलवेज अ फ्रेशर. इट कैन नॉट बी मैप्ड. थिंक प्रैक्टिकली. सो
सामने वाला का वो ड्राइवर था और आज अचानक से उसको बोला कि मुझे यहाँ पे
देखो
मैनेजमेंट
मैंने
करना है.
3 साल पहले वो ड्राइविंग सीखी थी, मतलब 6 महीने का मेरा फुल टाइम
हाँ.
कोर्स था।
वेरी गुड पॉइंट. बट कोर्स कैनॉट बी कंसिडर्ड एज एक्सपीरियंस.
पर मुझे वो टेक्नोलॉजी का अगर मुझे नॉलेज है तो मैं ट्राई कर सकती हूँ ना। फिर वो जो मेरा 3 साल का जो
तो
एक्सपीरियंस
बेटर है कि आप
मॉडिफाइड
जो कंपनी से एक्सपीरियंस सर्टिफिकेट मिलता है उस पे अगर डेजिग्नेशन आ रही है कुछ जो विच कैन बी मैप टू डेवलपमेंट, देन यू कैन फेक थिंग्स कि हाँ मैंने वहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट करा है कंपनी में, ये मेरा 3 साल का है और मैं वहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट करती थी, दो माई डेजिग्नेशन वाज दिस एंड दैट, वो एक्सप्लेन कर सकती है. बट उस टाइम पे they'll be taking experience interviews based on your 3 years of experience,
ओके
which is I'm going to start with the algorithm first, low level design, high level design. You need to prepare on that front.
ओके
अगर 3 साल का प्रिपरेशन आप दिखा सकते हो तो आपको तो आना चाहिए, फिर मिल जाएगा. तो वो तो हो सकता है बट वो डिफिकल्ट भी होता है.
Hello, Swapnil.
यस भूषण.
राहुल, माय क्वेश्चन इज, जैसे आप जावा फुल स्टैक पे वर्किंग हो, तो आपको जो टास्क है वो यूआई और बैकएंड में इक्वली आते हैं या कोई स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट रखना चाहिए जैसे कि बैकएंड हो?
मैं फुल स्टैक डेवलपर था, लेकिन उस टाइम पे क्या आता था कि मुझे यूआई पे एक नया रिपोर्ट इंट्रोड्यूस करना है. लेट्स से एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. तो मैं यूआई पे जाके यूआई का कुछ एक बेसिक टेम्पलेट रहता था एंगुलर में, वो बनाता था. देन उसके पीछे वाले एपीआई में लिखता था. सो जनरली एक फीचर्स को सिर्फ बैकएंड एंड फ्रंट एंड नहीं होता है, दोनों होता है. तो पूरा फीचर मेरे साथ मिलता था कि तुम वो फॉर्म भी डिजाइन करो, पीछे एपीआई भी लिखो और सब इंटीग्रेट करो. तो वो फुल स्टैक होता था. नाउ दिस इज काइंड ऑफ नॉट हैपनिंग इन द कंपनीज बिकॉज पुराने जमाने में फ्रंट एंड का बहुत ही कम काम था और बहुत सारे सर्वर साइड स्क्रिप्ट्स लाइक जेएसपी एएसपी सब सर्वर साइड ही थे. उनका बस पूरा कंपाइल्ड होके पूरा पेज आगे दिखता था HTML. नाउ इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट वे. रिएक्ट, एंगुलर, इनका खुद का मॉडल यूआई पे ही रहता है and that entire things happen on CDN and then talking to backend just with APIs. तो जनरली हमारे यहाँ पे अभी पिछले 4 सालों से देख रहा हूँ तो फ्रंट एंड बैक एंड अलग अलग ही काम करते हैं. मतलब दे हैव देयर ओन मीटिंग्स. इन केस ऑफ समटाइम्स मैं यूआई का भी कभी कभी मूड आया तो काम करता हूँ, लेकिन मैं बैक एंड एज ए आर्किटेक्ट हूँ तो डिजाइन करना मेरा सबसे बड़ा जॉब होता है. तो तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन का यही आंसर है कि जनरली अगर वैसा आता है फुल स्टैक का पूरा जॉब तो तुम्हें फीचर मिलेगा. ऐसे नहीं कि फ्रंट एंड का 4 करो, बैक एंड का 2 करो. फीचर के साथ चलेंगे तो उसमें दोनों आएगा.
हेलो राहुल.
यस.
Is there anything like that if we are starting as a fresher, so should go for this kind company or this technology, like some companies are healthcare based company, so they work for that मतलब healthcare का कोई अगर एक प्रोडक्ट तो उस पे वर्क कर, तो ऐसे में अगर हमें ये अफेक्ट करता है कि हम कहाँ से स्टार्ट करें और किस टेस्टिंग के लिए कि इसी पर्टिकुलर टेक्नोलॉजी पे या इसी पर्टिकुलर इस पे वर्क करना चाहिए?
हमें ना कंस्ट्रक्शन में काम करते हैं तो हमें बताया नहीं जाता कि तुम्हें कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाना है, फ्लैट बनाना है, बंगलो बनाना है. वो तो बन जाएगा अलग अलग से. हमें बस कैसे बनाना है सीखना है. तो नो मैटर इन व्हाट डोमेन यू स्टार्ट विथ, इट्स मैटर्स हाउ मच और गुड यू बिल्ड विथ.
ओके, थैंक यू.
So you started your career in IT as a developer or as a tester?
Developer. I got hired as a campus from my college, so तभी से डेवलपमेंट ही कर रहा हूँ भाई. Don't always think about manual, so have mix and match both automation and manual. You should be knowing about automation. RPA थोड़ा आगे का concept है. Once you know about manual automation, then the next step is the RPA. But prior to that, have both things. Now manual testers job are quite less compared to automation, so automation is on priority.
तो अगर एज अ फ्रेशर है तो ऐसे मतलब ऐसा जॉब है, क्राइटेरिया एक जॉब है कि आपको वहां पे 80% थोड़ा मतलब मैनुअल करना है और बच गया जो 20% वो ऑटोमेशन है और हम फ्रेशर है उस जॉब के लिए, तो वी शुड गो फॉर इट और नॉट?
प्रेशस हो ना, जॉब मिलनी आपको इम्पोर्टेंट है. देखो आपको ना जॉब मिलनी जरूरी है. आप स्टार्ट विद द करियर. तुम्हें सैलरी मिलेगी. कोई बोलेगा मैं 5 लाख महीने के देता हूँ, मैनुअल करोगे क्या, तो मैं हाँ बोल दूंगा भाई. सो तुम पैसे दे रहे हो ना, so my matter is money. So go with that attitude as well. It's not about I should start career in the right time, right? No. Move your, जो last point था क्या बोलते हैं, make your move before you're ready. Start कर दो. Moment you go into the industry, you'll see different world altogether. Then you'll be having different priorities, different expectations. 1-1.5 साल कर लो, फिर switch मार लो. IT में चलता ही है.
And that was a very important statement, make your move before you are ready. मतलब मोस्टली क्या होता है पता है क्या, बीइंग अ स्टूडेंट हम क्या करते हैं कि मैं ये सिलेबस खत्म कर लूंगा, फिर मैं रिवीजन करूंगा, फिर मैं मॉक इंटरव्यू दूंगा, फिर सब कुछ अच्छा हो गया तो मैं इंटरव्यू में जाऊंगा, है ना. ये हमारा प्रोसेस है. बट मैं क्या बोलता हूँ, हमेशा सेशन में मैंने एक चीज कही थी कि प्रिपरेशन, रिवीजन, वो सब चीजें बाजू में रखो. रिवीजन ऐसा कोई कंसेप्ट नहीं होता इधर, ठीक है. If you will keep on revising things, it is a loop, it is a cycle, and you will end up with the revision itself only. ठीक है. तो रिवीजन ऐसा कोई चीज नहीं होता. Once your course is done, हो गया, जितना करना था कर लिया हमने, इससे आगे और कुछ नहीं हो सकता हमसे, ठीक है. या फिर कुछ अलग हम मतलब उसमें से निकाल नहीं सकते, एक्सट्रैक्ट नहीं करा सकते. जितना कर लिया, करना था वो 4 महीने में, 5 महीने में हमने कर लिया. वी आर डन विद इट. जस्ट जंप इनटू इट. मतलब मैं हमेशा एक एग्जांपल बताता हूँ ना कि मैंने स्विमिंग का पूरा किताब पढ़ लिया है ना. व्हाट इज मीन बाय बैक स्ट्रोक, व्हाट इज मीन बाय डाइव, व्हाट इज मीन बाय बटरफ्लाई, ये सब मेरे को थियोरेटिकल पता है. और पानी में फेंक दिया तो, है ना, तो सब भूल जाएंगे हम. सबसे पहले याद आएगा
बचने
नीचे
का.
पत्थर क्यों नहीं लग रहा है, ठीक है, या फिर किनारा किधर है, किसको पकड़ू, किसके सर पे पैर रख के जाऊं बाहर, ये पहले याद आता है. बाकी सब थ्योरी सब भूल जाते हैं हम उसका, है ना. सब टेक्निक वेक्निक सब भूल जाते हैं. सो जस्ट डू इट. पहले घुस जाओ, सीधा चले जाओ, सीधा इंटरव्यूज में बैठ जाओ एंड सी व्हाट इज हैपनिंग विथ यू. कि क्या हो रहा है, मैं कैसे बात कर रहा हूँ, मेरा क्या गलत हो गया. पहले इंटरव्यू में ही पता चल जाता है कि वेयर यू आर मेकिंग योर मूव्स रॉन्ग. सिंपल चीज है. तो ये आप जब खुद जाके अंदर इंटरव्यूज नहीं दोगे तब तक पता नहीं चलेगा. दूर से तो कहानियां सुन रहे हैं हम सिर्फ. These are just stories that we all have to share. बट आप एक्सपीरियंस करोगे तो शायद आपकी कहानी कुछ और हो सकती है ना. शायद हम जो निगेटिव बता रहे हैं वो आपका पॉजिटिव हो जाए, जो हम पॉजिटिव बता रहे हैं वो आपका निगेटिव हो जाए, है ना. सो on this point, on this note, I have a question to Rahul. Let's say there are two full stack engineers having 10 years of experience. So is there any difference between their salaries, and if yes, then why?
That's a very valid question. I would say, yeah, there will always be a difference between these two people. First of all, if he is having 10 years of experience, meaning is he must have switched to at least 1 to 2 company. If not, still maybe there will be a different ratings altogether for their appraisals. And appraisals doesn't go with their only technical things. There are other things that I talked about. You should be adaptable, you should be focused, should be helping. That attitude, repay you based on your appraisals. So it may happen if they are having differences in the salary. Most of the time, if they are working in the same company, managers don't differentiate them. But if they're coming from different companies and now they are in the team, it may happen that they'll be having separate salaries. And in the next appraisal, it may also happen they'll be getting different appraisals percentage. It's because their attitude, their helping nature, even if they're having same skill. Third point, if one person, now there are 2 full stack developers are working, and that last year they did some certification, some learning, and then also help team, then why should I give a same rating to the other person who is not doing that? Right? एक बंदा अच्छा ऑफिस भी संभाल रहा है, झाड़ू पोछा भी कर रहा है, तो उसको ज्यादा दूंगा ना पैसे.
Exactly.
फुल स्टैक मतलब क्या है, ऑफिस संभालना है, झाड़ू पोछा मार. I mean, think तो थोड़ा डिफरेंटली सोचा, ऐसा नहीं. बट यस, एंड ये बहुत टाइम होता है कि even looking at my experiences, जितने भी आर्किटेक्ट होंगे हमारे इसमें, हम सबकी अलग अलग सैलरी है। मेरी कम है ज्यादा मैं नहीं बताऊंगा, लेकिन बट डिफरेंसेस होते हैं।
समझो कोई फुल स्टैक डेवलपर है जिसको 11 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, उसका कितना सैलरी होना चाहिए?
एट माई एज, ओ तो मतलब मेरे को पूछे ना सीधा कितना मेरी सैलरी कितनी है? आई थिंक एवरेज हियर इज 50-50. आई एम हैविंग मोर देन 70.
Related to this question,
1000 नहीं बोला मैंने.
if sir, both two are developer, one is having 0 year of experience and second one is having 10 year of experience, then which would you like to choose? Both are equal level.
नहीं नहीं ऐसे कैसे होगा, उसको जीरो है तो उसको
नहीं नहीं, मतलब एक्सपीरियंस वाले ही आप हायर करोगे ना, तो फिर
करेक्ट.
तो आप तो बोल रहे कि फ्रेशर को जाओ, मतलब स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट. हाँ,
That is not the requirement. You know, sometimes what happens, you know, so that everybody can.
I can also add one point in between. जब पोजीशंस आते हैं ना, उसी टाइम पे एक्सपीरियंस डिफाइन होता है. We need 3 years candidate, we need 7 years candidate, we need 10 years candidate.
रिक्वायरमेंट ही वैसे निकलती है. रिक्वायरमेंट अगर फ्रेशर की है तो उधर एक्सपीरियंस वाले का इंटरव्यू लेते ही नहीं है, उसको कॉल भी नहीं करते. ठीक है, आपको कॉल भी नहीं आएगा, आप अप्लाई करोगे तो भी नहीं आएगा. आप बोलोगे मेरे को फ्रेशर बोल के ले लो,
नहीं ले लेंगे.
ठीक है, वो करेंगे ही नहीं आपको कॉल. दे विल नॉट कॉल यू एट ऑल बिकॉज दैट पोजीशन बिलोंग्स टू फ्रेशर्स, नॉट टू यू. ठीक है, अगर एक्सपीरियंस का इंटरव्यू है, एक्सपीरियंस का ओपनिंग निकल रहा है, तो इन दैट केस फ्रेशर्स वोंट बी कॉल्ड. इन दैट केस ओनली एक्सपीरियंस गाइज विल बी कॉल्ड. जिसका जेडी और स्किल्स मैच हो रहा है वो कॉल होगा, बाकी और कोई नहीं होगा. मतलब एवरीवन हैज देयर ओन स्पेस. कोई बंदा किसी और की स्पेस में नहीं घुस सकता
कभी नहीं. रिक्विजिशन बोलते हैं हम उसको, रेक टू बी प्रीफिक्स. रेक आती ही वैसे है तो फिर उसको उसी हिसाब से हायर किया जाए. 7 इयर्स का क्यों बोलेगा मुझे फ्रेशर्स ले लो? वो बोलेगा मेरी 50 लाख की सैलरी और मुझे तुम फ्रेशर्स ज्वाइन करो. क्यों? वो बोलेगा फ्रेशर्स का कैटेगरी तो 7 लाख मैक्स दे सकते हैं. वो बोलेगा मैं 7 लाख पे ज्वाइन करूंगा? नहीं. No, you should have knowledge of automation, script writing, and basic language. Full stack doesn't really matter. I think automation is not only about writing scripts and all this stuff. Automation or QA's job is to understand the product as well. So if you are doing some internship or you are having some scenarios given by Avinash in your automation things, better to understand that product, have it in your resume and explain to the person who is interviewing you and tell him that how much I learned from this product and how I did the automation. That is how we generally evaluate. No matter you know about React and script and all. And in the freshers case, I don't think really कि किसी बंदे को मैंने बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम कॉम्प्लेक्स दे दिया और उसको सॉल्व करने आया तो उसको रिजेक्ट किया. नहीं इतना करते हैं. आप ना मोस्टली एटीट्यूड पे ही इवैल्यूएट किए जाते हैं. टेक्निकल होना चाहिए. मैं थ्योरेटिकल पूछूंगा व्हाट इज स्ट्रीम ऐप, व्हाट इज हैश मैप, इंटरनली कैसे काम करता है, व्हाट इज कुकुम्बर, सेलेनियम का कैसे काम चलता है, हाउ यू चूज द elements on the UI, what are the different approaches choosing the elements, what if my dynamic pages are generating all the time, how I am going with XPath or different things, right? So ये चीजें हम पूछते हैं जिससे पता चलता है कि इसने करा कितना है. बट द सेम टाइम उसका करने की इच्छा है कि नहीं, वो किस लिए आ रहा है, उसका बैकग्राउंड क्या है, उसकी बेसिक एज ए नेचर और बिहेवियरल स्किल क्या है, उस पर ज्यादा फोकस किया जाता है. और उसी से पता चलता है कि ओवरऑल पैकेज कैसा है. क्योंकि हम इसीलिए फ्रेशर्स बोलते हैं क्योंकि हमें पता है कि इसको कुछ आता नहीं, इवन इफ यू डूइंग कोर्सेस और थिंग्स.
और इंटरव्यूज में प्रोग्राम का आउटपुट कितना मैटर करता है?
आई वुड से अगर उसने सही से दिया तो मैं खुशी हो जाऊंगा, लेकिन उसने एफर्ट्स नहीं डाला तो मैं बिल्कुल ना खुश हूँ. अगर उसने अटेम्प्ट किया और जिसने वो अच्छे अप्रोच से जा रहा था लेकिन एट द एंड उसको सॉल्व करने नहीं आया, आई स्टिल थिंक दैट ही इज गुड गाय. एफर्ट्स बहुत जरूरी है. आपको कुछ आता नहीं इसका मतलब आप पूरा शांत नहीं रहोगे. इफ यू कुछ हर्ड ऑफ समथिंग, ट्राई टू एक्सप्लेन दैट. इफ यू गॉट सम सिनेरियोज, बहुत सारे ऐसे टाइम भी होता है फ्रेशर्स का, सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम मेरे साथ ये होता है, यहाँ पर बहुत सारे हमारे इंटरव्यूअर्स के साथ होता है कि हम जो भी प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट देंगे ना वो आधी सुन के स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं। सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम ये है, आधा सुनना है स्टार्ट करना है। मैंने बोला ना कि हाउ हैश मैप, हाँ हैश मैप, अरे सुन भाई आगे मुझे कुछ पूछ रहा हूँ। हाउ हैश मैप वर्किंग नहीं, इंटरनली वर्किंग बोल रहा हूँ, तो बता कि इंटरनल बाइनरी की ट्री कैसे बनती है, कितने साइज के बाद बनती है, उसकी की वैल्यू कैसे स्टोर करते हैं, उसके बकेट्स कैसे बनते हैं, ये सब चीजें बेसिकली पता होनी चाहिए। अगर नहीं हो रही तो फिर प्रॉब्लम है। तो पहले वो सुनो क्वेश्चन, अगर आपको क्वेश्चन समझ में आया तो आप आंसर दे दो, नहीं आया तो 2 बार पूछो, 3 बार पूछो। आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट क्लियर नहीं है तब तक आप सॉल्व नहीं कर पाओ। गेट रिक्वायरमेंट रेडी फ्रॉम योर इंटरव्यूज। कोई भी टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन पूछेगा, आपको प्रॉब्लम नहीं समझेगा सॉल्व करने को, तो पूछो 4 बार, ये क्या करना है, ये क्या करना है, ये क्या करना है, फिर लिखो। डायरेक्ट स्टार्ट मत करो, फिर आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे, उसने क्या बोला था अब मैं पूछूं कैसे, अब तो 5 मिनट हो गए। तो वो मत छोड़ो टाइमिंग, उसको यूज करो, यूटिलाइज करो। पहले 3-4 मिनट जान दो, क्योंकि सामने वालों को पता है कि ये नए प्रॉब्लम है, नया बंदा है, फ्रेशर्स है, तो हेजिटेंट होगा ही। हम भी होते हैं इंटरव्यू में, तो तुम तो होगे ही। ऐसा नहीं कि कोई होगा नहीं, और होगा भी, बट जनरली होता है एज अ कॉमन पॉइंट। तो उसी टाइम पे पूछते रहो। कभी कभी ऐसे लगा कि मैंने सुना बट ये यही पूछा था इसने, और कुछ अलग पूछा था, तो रिपीट कर लो। सो आर यू आस्किंग मी अबाउट दिस, ओके देन, ऐसे तो वो क्वेश्चन फिर से रिपीट करो। फिर वो बोलेगा हाँ यस, तो भी उनसे आंसर दे दो। कंफ्यूज हो तो वापस कंफर्म कर लो, समझ में नहीं आया तो वापस पूछ लो। बट आधे से स्टार्ट बिल्कुल मत करना। जो आधे से स्टार्ट करते हैं ना, मैं उसको बोलता हूँ कि फोकस नहीं है, और ये बिल्कुल एटीट्यूड, कैन डू वाला एटीट्यूड नहीं लग रहा है, ये सीधा अपनी गाड़ी भगा रहा है किधर भी, चल भाई तू आज नहीं है। और मैं करता हूँ ऐसे, मतलब हम करते हैं ऐसे। कोई भागना नहीं है, इंटरव्यू 1 घंटे का है, मतलब आप पहले 5 मिनट 10 मिनट खुद का इंट्रोडक्शन दे के, अपना रिज्यूम के बारे में बोल के 15 मिनट तो दे ही दोगे। उसमें जितना ज्यादा टाइम लगाओगे ना वो अच्छा होगा, बट इतना भी मत लगाओ कि सामने वाला बोर भी हो जाएगा, यार बस भाई तू क्या क्या कर रहा है। वो थोड़ा एक स्किल सेट्स पे आता है, पर 5-10 मिनट उसमें गए, 5-7 मिनट तो चलता है, उस टाइम तक आप कंफर्ट भी हो जाते हो। एंड देन जो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं तो उसमें 5, उसको 10 पूछने थे, उसमें से उसके 5 ही हो गए, लेकिन 5 आपने सुन के सही से बताए तो मैं 5 पे सेटिस्फाई हो जाऊंगा, मैं उसी पे हायर कर लूंगा। चलो ठीक है, समझ रहा है, कर रहा है, बता रहा है, तो चलो हायर। जरूरी नहीं कि सबको सब कुछ पूछना है। और उसको लगा कि और 2-3 क्वेश्चन में तो एक्सटेंड करेगा टाइम, हम तो प्रेशर है, हमारे पास तो टाइम ही टाइम है भाई, और आधा घंटा ले ले, उसमें क्या है। तो और जो पुराने ख्याल थे ना आईटी में से, सामने आया तो जब तक सिट डाउन बोलेगा, नहीं तो बैठना नहीं है, ऐसे नहीं कैसे, ये नहीं, इतना कोई ध्यान नहीं देता आजकल। मतलब वो थोड़ा इटिकेट्स होते हैं, इतने भी नहीं कि जाके ऐसे बैठे तो है, हाँ पूछिए पूछना है तो ऐसे नहीं होता है। बट एक छोटे से इटिकेट्स के साथ जाके तुम कैजुअली बैठ के रिलैक्स हो सकते हो। जनरली बैठने का स्टार्टिंग पोजीशन भी ऐसा ही होना चाहिए कि तुम ऐसे बैठे हो, एकदम ऊपर हाथ बीत रखना नहीं है, स्टैंडर्ड बैठो आराम से, और अपन को पहले फील करो कि मैं अच्छे से बैठा हूँ कि नहीं। आधे घंटे बाद तो पेन होना चालू, इधर दुख रहा है, वो फिर डाइवर्ट करता है माइंड। एक्चुअली छोटी छोटी चीजें बट मैटर करती है इंटरव्यू में, तो वैसे ध्यान रखो अपने। आप जाके आराम से शांति से बैठे हो, आराम रिलैक्स हो, आपको अभी समझ में आ रहा है कि हमें ओके हो, कूल। बैग में हमेशा एक पानी बोतल रखो, बीच में खांसी आ गई, ज्यादा हेजिडेंट लगा, बहुत पसीना आ रहा है, डर लगा, तो 2 मिनट के लिए बोलना खुद। अगर बहुत डर लगा ना तो खांसने का थोड़ा सा बोलना, कैन आई हैव वाटर, तो थोड़ा घूम के ऐसे लिखिए, थोड़ा पानी पी सकते। वो ना 1-1.5 मिनट अपना जो हार्ट बीट कम करने को और फिर से फोकस करने को मदद करेगा। पानी तो थोड़ा सा न्यूट्रलाइज कर ही लेगा बॉडी को, बट वो हेल्प करेगा। सामने वाले को बिल्कुल पता नहीं चलेगा ज्यादा कि बहुत डर गया उसका, फिर अब लग गई है जैसे। हमें ना एक लेवल पे हमेशा वो रखना पड़ेगा।
मतलब थोड़ी एक्टिंग जरूरी है।
यस यस, हम भी करते हैं।
मतलब हमसे पहले कुछ लोग एक्टिंग करके गए होंगे।
हाँ हाँ करेक्ट, दैट्स फाइन।
बट आपने नहीं
नहीं,
की तो आप अलग दिखोगे। ठीक है,
नहीं इवन इफ मुझे पता चल रहा है कि यार पसीना आ रहा है, फिर भी पानी पीने की, मैं बोलूंगा पानी पी ले। मैं भी तो इंसान हूँ, बेचारा डर रहा है तो मैं उसको और डराऊंगा, मैं भूत थोड़ी हूँ। अब तो मैं खा लाऊंगा, ऐसा नहीं है ना हो। तो दैट हैपेंस। और मुझे अच्छा लगेगा कि उसने टाइम लिया, शांति से पानी पिया, फिर उसे खुद को रिलैक्स कर रहा है, उस प्रेशर को हैंडल कर रहा है। एक छोटी चीज मुझे समझ में आ रही है कि उसको प्रेशर में हैंडल करना आ रहा है। इसका मतलब मैं एक मजाक में ले रहा हूँ, लेकिन पीछे वाला परसेप्शन अलग है हमारा। एसक्यूएल, हाँ हाँ पूछते हैं, क्वेरी बनाओ, ज्वाइन, इनर ज्वाइन, आउटर ज्वाइन बनाओ। टेस्टिंग में थोड़ा बहुत डेटाबेस तो पूछते हैं, क्योंकि डेटाबेस के साथ तुमको ऑटोमेट करना ही पड़ता है। सिर्फ यूआई वाले एलिमेंट चूज करके थोड़ी देखते हो, हम कुछ एपीआई हिट करके डेटाबेस से भी डेटा लाके देखते हैं कि जो फॉर्म में डाला हुआ एक्चुअली डेटाबेस में गया है कि नहीं, वो भी देखना पड़ता है। उस टाइम पे हम क्वेरी भी हिट करके डेटा लाके देखते हैं कि वैलिडेट थिंग्स, तो करते हैं। आपको आनी चाहिए डेटाबेस आइडिया, रिलेशनल डेटाबेस का तो आना चाहिए आपको। माइस्क्ल ले लो, ओरेकल ले लो, दोनों में से किसी का ना एक अच्छा सा क्वेरी का एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग होना चाहिए। और जो रहते हैं ना डीडीएल, डीएमएल, डीक्यूएल, अब तो याद भी नहीं रहा मेरे को।
DCL, DML, DQL,
हाँ हाँ, वो क्रिएशनल मॉडिफाई जो रहता है,
हाँ
हाँ वो करना है।
हेलो सर,
यस,
जो स्टूडेंट सपोज टू नॉन टेक्निकल है या आईटी बैकग्राउंड से नहीं है, तो उस स्टूडेंट के लिए आप क्या गाइडलाइंस दे सकते हो या क्या गाइडलाइन देना चाहोगे?
अगर पहले तो मैं टेक्निकल वाले का आंसर देता हूँ। अगर किसी का बी इंजीनियरिंग कंप्यूटर में हुआ है, किसी टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड से आ रहा है और एक दो चीजें नहीं आ रही, तो आई वुड डेफिनेटली थिंक फील बेटर पोजीशन, बिकॉज उसने इतने सालों से कुछ ना कुछ कर रहा है, तो उसको आइडिया है थोड़ी बहुत। जो पूरा नॉन टेक्निकल है ना, उसको इंटरव्यू में सही रहना है, उसमें तब दिखाना है कि मुझे इंजीनियरिंग की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी, मैं अभी सीखा हूँ पूरा। तो जो भी 10 में से 8 क्वेश्चन पूछे होंगे तो आपको सही से बताने आ रहे हैं, या फिर जो अप्रोच टेक्निकल बंदे का होता है, मतलब नॉट इवन टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड आई एम कंसिडरिंग, एक टेक्निकल इंजीनियर या डेवलपर का होना चाहिए, वो अप्रोच आपने दिखाया ना, तो बैकग्राउंड बिल्कुल मैटर नहीं करेगा। आप कॉमर्स करके आ जाओ या बीए करके आ जाओ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आप कर सकते हो। ओनली मैटर इज कि आप उस टाइम पे उस इंटरव्यू में दिखाना भी चाहिए कि आप टेक्निकल कितने बन गए हो।
यस, थैंक यू सर।
सर वन मोर क्वेश्चन, लाइक अभी अपने रिज्यूमे पे कोई अभी हम कंपनी स्विच करते हैं, तो ऐसे कुछ होता है क्या कि एक कंपनी में हमको इतनी साल रहना चाहिए, तो वो स्टेबिलिटी देखते हैं कि ये बंदे की कितनी स्टेबिलिटी है, और सपोज इनकेस सामने से ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से ही हमको कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, तो सपोज उन्होंने अपने को कोई प्रोजेक्ट से निकाला है, तो उस केस में सपोज आई एम ट्राइंग टू अप्रोच टू अनदर कंपनी, सो उस केस में मतलब रिज्यूमे पे कितना इफेक्ट गिरता है, कि ये जस्ट पूछना था।
आई थिंक स्टार्ट विथ दिस की पहला ये था पॉइंट कि कितने साल एक कंपनी में रहना है, तो इसका कोई टाइमलाइन नहीं है दोस्त। इसका एक ही है कि आपको अच्छा लग रहा है तो आप रुको, सिर्फ लग भी नहीं रहा, आपको पैसा भी अच्छा मिल रहा है तो रुको। अगर ये दोनों नहीं मिल रहे तो आप अपने मैनेजर से बात कर लो, देखो कुछ हो रहा है वहाँ पे, ट्राई करो वहीं रहने की, और जितना हो सके अच्छा आउटपुट अपने मैनेजर से या कंपनी से लेने की। अगर ये सारी चीजें सक्सेस नहीं हो रही तो स्विच मार लो, लेकिन वहाँ पे रुक के ट्राई मारना जरूरी भी है, क्योंकि अगले इंटरव्यू में पूछा भी जा सकता है कि आपने 6 महीने में क्यों छोड़ी, 1 साल में क्यों छोड़ी। तब बोलूंगा नहीं मेरा मैनेजर बहुत गंदा था, ऐसे था, तो उसको क्या लगेगा, मैं भी मैनेजर, तो कल जाके मुझे भी गाली देगा, तो तुझे क्यों लेना है ना, मतलब ये पॉइंट होता है। तो बेटर गो विथ सम प्रोसेसेस, लाइक if you wanted to switch, do switch, but based on your some certain criteria, whether you are getting good amount, getting good work, then go ahead. बट इंटरव्यूज में पैसे की ज्यादा बात नहीं करते टेक्निकल लोगों के साथ कि ये मैं सिर्फ पैसों के लिए कर रहा हूँ, तो बोलेगा फिर तू हार्ड कोडेड पैशनेट डेवलपर नहीं है, तू जस्ट पैशनेट अर्नर है, तो इसीलिए नहीं होता। सेकंड पॉइंट, अगर किसी प्रोजेक्ट से निकाला तो किसी को पता नहीं चलता, बाहर वाले कंपनी को, हम तो ऐसे ही छुपा सकते हो चीज, बट कंपनी से निकाला तो प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है। तो देयर माइट बी अ गैप ऑफ 3 मंथ्स 4 मंथ्स, और 6 महीने के बाद तुमको नया जॉब मिल रहा है, फिर दूसरी कंपनी हायर करने के टाइम भी पूछ सकती है, या नई कंपनी भी पूछ सकती है ये गैप क्यों था, क्या था। तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम आई वुड से थोड़ा सा एक्टिंग वाला ही पॉइंट लाना चाहिए यहाँ पे। मेरे दादाजी इतने बीमार थे कि उनके साथ ही रुकना पड़ा, तो 6 महीने उसमें चले गए, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ माई फैमिली प्रायोरिटीज आई थॉट ऑफ हैविंग सम गैप इन माई करियर, not gap but break in my career, because I want to be with my family. रो लो थोड़ा सा, रोना मत, निकाल देंगे। बट ये एक पॉइंट है डिप्लोमेटिकली, अगर आपको सच में लग रहा है कुछ बीच में कुछ कोर्स किया, कुछ ये किया, आपने कुछ करियर चेंज करने के लिए गैप लिया, तो बेटर है कि वही बताओ, No, I was working as a QA and wanted to be a developer. I took a break 6 months. I learned development and then I joined. I wanted to be a developer. वो भी चलेगा. वो वैरी करता है एक्चुअली, बट बेटर है कि जिस टाइम पे आपको गैप मिले ना तो थोड़ा फैमिली रीजन से कवर करने का उसके, क्योंकि वो जो मैनेजर है उसका ना कोई दादाजी बीमारी होगा ना, उसको भी समझ में आएगा, चलो ठीक है होता है, भले उसको पता है कि 6 महीने उसको निकाला उसको, अभी हमें तो पता चल ही जाता है कि इस कंपनी का फायरिंग हुआ, इतने लोग निकाले, सैकिंग हुआ, तो अभी उसी कंपनी से वो आएगा इंटरव्यू के लिए कि मैं नहीं फैमिली के लिए ब्रेक लिया, नहीं मुझे पता है उस टाइम पे तो निकाल रहे थे लोग तो उसी लिस्ट में होगा, तो बेटर है कि बोल भी सकते हो कि निकाल लिया हमारा पूरा, अगर उसको पता चल भी गया तो उसको बोल दो कि हमारा पूरा प्रोजेक्ट ही बंद कर दिया, इट्स नॉट बिकॉज आई वाज अंडर परफॉर्मिंग, इट्स बिकॉज ऑफ एंटायर प्रोजेक्ट गॉट डिप्रायोरिटाइज्ड और dismantled, and because of that I had to put down my paper and
मतलब that is again a part of debate, you know. वो भी अगेन इसका आंसर क्या करना है, अगर आपका गैप है उसको जस्टिफाई करने के लिए आप कैसे आंसर करोगे, अभी अगेन डिबेट का पार्ट है, क्योंकि आपका आंसर डिपेंड करता है सामने कौन सुन रहा है उसके ऊपर, ठीक है। अगर सुनने वाला सेंसिबल है तो उसको सेंसिबल आंसर समझ आ जाएगा, अगर वो सेंसिबल नहीं है तो वो बोलेगा कि यार 3 महीने का गैप है तुम्हारा, 3 महीना तुमने पढ़ा तो फिर इससे पहले कुछ नहीं किया तो तुम फ्रेशर हो, फिर एज अ फ्रेशर ज्वाइन करो, फिर आपको वो एक्सपीरियंस को कंसीडर नहीं करेगा, इधर फ्रेशर ज्वाइन कराएगा। मतलब ये बहुत ज्यादा सब्जेक्टिव है कि आप किस तरह से आंसर करोगे, और सब्जेक्टिव का मतलब समझ रहे हो ना सब लोग, कि हर जगह पे आंसर आपका बदल सकता है, दैट्स ओके। आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि सामने वाला किस तरह से आपसे डीलिंग कर रहा है, आप हर किसी को एकदम ईमानदारी से सारे आंसर नहीं बता सकते, ईमानदारी से झूठ भी नहीं बोल सकते, ईमानदारी से सच भी नहीं बोल सकते सामने वाला कैसे रिसीव कर रहा है उस चीज को, उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। और ये पहले 15 मिनट में जब इंटरव्यू चल रहा है ना, उसी समय हमको पता चल जाता है कि इसका माइंडसेट क्या है। जैसे देयर आर गुड इंटरव्यूअर्स एंड बैड इंटरव्यूअर्स, एज राहुल कोटेड अर्लियर, ठीक है, कि अच्छे इंटरव्यूअर्स भी है, बुरे भी है। तो आप अच्छे इंटरव्यूअर के सामने अगर जेन्युइनिटी दिखाते हो ना, तो वो बोलेगा यार ये बंदा सही है एंड कैन डू एटीट्यूड वाला है, ये कॉम्पिटेंट है और ये मतलब फाइटर है, ये कर लेगा, ठीक है, तो ही विल हायर यू। बट वही अगर आप बुरे इंटरव्यूअर के पास में जा रहे हो ना, वो बोलेगा आउटपुट तो लाता आया नहीं तेरे को, है ना, क्यों हायर करेंगे हम आपको, तो जस्ट यू विल बी रिजेक्टेड इन दैट केस। सो ही विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग। अब जब कंपनीज में रिक्रूटमेंट की जो टीम होती है ना, उनकी मीटिंग्स होती है मोस्ट प्रोबेबली, कि लेट्स से मेरी कंपनी में 10 इंटरव्यूअर्स है, हमने चुने हैं, हर मैनेजर को बोला जाता है कि एक एक बंदा दो तुम्हारी टीम से, और उन लोगों का एक कलेक्टिव मीटिंग, एक प्रैक्टिस एड लेता है कि भाई तुम लोग इंटरव्यू में ऐसा 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 पूछो, ये जेडी है, और उस हिसाब से तुम जाओ और कैंडिडेट्स को हायर करो। अब कोई बंदा होता है जो बहुत ज्यादा रिजेक्शन कर रहा है, तो मैनेजर उसके साथ भी मीटिंग लेता है कि व्हाई देयर आर सो मेनी रिजेक्शंस। और कोई बंदा अगर बहुत ज्यादा सिलेक्शन कर रहा है तो उसको भी पूछते हैं कि तू इतना सिलेक्शन कैसे करा रहा है भाई। तो अल्टीमेटली it all depends on person to person that how he is receiving your answers. So ये आपको पता चलना चाहिए। So being genuine will not help you all the time, ठीक है, being fake will not help you all the time. Correct. So you should be very diplomatic in terms of answering the questions, ठीक है। आपको समझ में आना चाहिए कि सामने वाला किस उद्देश्य से आपको कौन सा क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है, तो उसी हिसाब से उसको बताओ चीज। वो अगर आपके अंदर इमोशनली इंटरेस्टेड है कि हाँ दिख रहा है उसको, वो इमोशंस पकड़ रहा है, तो फिर उसको दादाजी का बताओ, ठीक है। अगर वो देखना चाह रहा है कि ये फाइटर है, ये सीख लेगा, तो फिर उसको 3 महीना गैप मैंने सीखने के लिए लिए, ये बताओ, ठीक है। वही 3 महीना गैप आप अलग अलग रीजंस देके एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो सामने वाले को, बट उसके लिए आपको वो सामने वाला बंदा और उसकी जो थोड़ा स्टेट ऑफ माइंड है वो समझ में आना बड़ा जरूरी है। मतलब हर टाइम सेम आंसर नहीं हो सकता। मतलब एवरी टाइम यू नो एचआर यूज्ड टू आस्क कि आप स्विच क्यों कर रहे हो कंपनी, है ना। अब मेरा रीजन फिक्स होता था, बिल्कुल मेरे को पैसे चाहिए थे, ठीक है, बट मैं अगर एचआर को बोलूंगा कि मेरे को पैसे चाहिए इसलिए मैं स्विच कर रहा हूँ, तो अल्टीमेटली दैट विल बी अ रॉन्ग आइडिया इन दैट केस, ठीक है। वही अगर मैं बोलूंगा नहीं वहां पे ना स्टैग्नेंट हो गया था और मुझे टेक्नोलॉजी स्टैक नया कुछ मिल नहीं रहा था और मेरी जो हंगर थी वो सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो रही थी, ये शुगर कोटेड आंसर्स है बड़े बढ़िया
यानी हमेशा यही वर्क करता है।
एंड दिस इज व्हाट वर्क्स।
स्टैग्नेंट हियर, लुकिंग फॉर अपॉर्चुनिटीज।
हां, अब मेरे को पता है मैं झूठ बोल रहा हूँ, उसको भी पता है कि मैं झूठ बोल रहा हूँ
यस, but on record it is saying that he got stagnant and need a good job as challenging.
अच्छा, जो रिकॉर्ड चेक कर रहा है ना, उसको भी पता है ये दोनों झूठ बोल रहे हैं
और वहां जाके वही करना है फिर से स्टैग्नेंट ही रहना है
तो this is how it works. So being genuine will not help you out all the time, being fake will not help you out all the time. तो इनके बीच में आपको थोड़ा सा खेलना पड़ेगा। हम लोग होते हैं ना कुछ कुछ बड़े स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, कुछ बोलते हैं ना वी आर वेरी, आई एम वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, मेरा जैसा दिल में है वैसा वोट पे, फिर जॉब मत कर भाई, ठीक है, नहीं चलता है ऐसा।
नहीं, मैं वैसे बोलता हूँ लेकिन डिप्लोमेटिक रहता हूँ।
हाँ दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट है ना, मतलब आप बोलना है बोलो, आपके जो दिल के थॉट्स है वो बोलो, बट उसको ऐसे गोल मटोल घुमा के करो ना कि आपको बाहर निकलने के लिए रास्ते मिले, मतलब स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, हाँ आई एम स्विचिंग फॉर द सेक ऑफ मनी, इसको गोल कैसे घुमाओगे, नहीं घुमा सकते, दिस इज अ वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड आंसर है। वेराज अगर मैं बोल दूं कि नहीं आई एम डूइंग फॉर द टेक्नोलॉजी स्टैक, ठीक है, तो फिर वो बोलेगा फिर वो कंपनी क्यों ज्वाइन की थी, उधर टेक्नोलॉजी स्टैक नहीं मिला क्या तुमको, तो वो घुमाने के, वो आपको परेशान करने के लिए कुछ भी कर सकता है। समटाइम्स ही वांट्स टू नो कि आप कितना हेजिटेट होते हो उन चीजों को, आपका झूठ पकड़ने की वो कोशिश भी करता है, तो झूठ बोलो लेकिन नीट बोलो,
जिंदगी बनाओ।
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we have a lot of questions and curiosities, you know, everybody's curious cat here. So instead, पूरा दिन भी कम पड़ जाएगा हमको हमारे सारे सवाल एड्रेस करते करते। So let us conclude this session at this point. And if you have few more questions to ask, but you are still hesitated to ask the question to Rahul, in that case, you can connect with him through his social media handles, through LinkedIn or maybe through Instagram, or if he's having the Instagram handle, obviously, and through the Facebook also. And you can feel free to ask your questions on the LinkedIn platform. LinkedIn platform पे आप चले जाओ, वहाँ पे आप सवाल पूछ सकते हो जो भी आपके हैं. And I hope that he will be helping you through all the journey that you are going through. और जहाँ जहाँ आपको लग रहा है कि यार हम अटक गए या फिर यहाँ से आगे नहीं बढ़ पा रहे, and you feel कि यार Rahul can help us in that case, so you can surely connect with him at any point of time, and he will be more than happy to help you in such kind of situations. So I would like to thank you all for joining this session and being patient, because this was expected to happen for 1 hour, but it again extended for 1 more hour, just because of the curiosity that you guys have. And we also love to address that curiosity, and our speakers are also. So on behalf of Testing Shastra, I would like to give a small token of thanks to Rahul on behalf of all of us, because he have spent a lot of his times, because if I count his salary in terms of minutes,
70 पैसे.
okay, so he might have spent a lot of money today. Yes, okay. So so to appreciate his efforts, and he is also a guy who wants to pass on his expertise, his knowledge, and his beliefs and his practices with the IT aspirants or the people who are looking to career in an IT. So we as a Testing Shastra appreciate his efforts, the time that he have given to us, and for that I would like to felicitate him with a small token of thanks from all of us. Okay, so Shashikant.
गरज नव्हती याची. है ना?
Please.
As he's my friend Praveen Patil. He's also into the IT around 11, same experience. We were college mates, roommates, and also. And he's working as a ServiceNow developer. People know about ServiceNow, so he's one of the guys. On a LinkedIn.
You can also connect with Praveen at any point of time. And LinkedIn handles ये लोग अपना बता देंगे, तो आप लोग जब follow request इनको डाल देना दो, ठीक है? So that they will be active. Also ये लोग आपने अपने LinkedIn profiles पे अगर कुछ openings है तो वो भी share करते हैं, उनकी कंपनी में फोटो भी रहेगा तो वो भी share कराते हैं. Sometimes tech talks या फिर कुछ technical topics है, expertise का वो भी LinkedIn पे वो share कराते हैं. तो आप जस्ट उनके साथ कनेक्टेड रह के और आपको ग्रूम करने के लिए मौका मिल सकता है, चांस मिल सकता है. तो जस्ट स्टे कनेक्टेड विद दिस काइंड ऑफ पीपल. अच्छा, इनके फ्रेंड लिस्ट में और कोई फ्रेंड्स होंगे जो आपको लग रहा है कि यार ये सिमिलर इंटरेस्ट के हैं, हम लोग इनसे कुछ सीखने को मिल सकता है, जस्ट गो and connect with them as well. So just grow your प्रोफेशनल नेटवर्क ऑन द लिंक्डइन, है ना, बट लिंक्डइन पे थोड़े प्रोफेशनल मैसेज डालने हैं ना, ये मैसेज 11 लोगों को फॉरवर्ड करो, गुड न्यूज़ मिलेगा, ऐसा नहीं करना, वो फेसबुक पे करो, जो लिंक्डइन पे जस्ट बी प्रोफेशनल. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
सर आपको लिंक शेयर करने वाले
Sir,
थे
thank you.
लास्ट में.
I'll share with Avinash.
ओके.
कौन सी लिंक है मैं भूल गया.
Which link you are talking about, Jyotsna? कौन सा link?
सर जब वो रोड मैप ऐसे बोल
Roadmap
रहे
ऐसे.
थे तो-
Roadmap.sh.
Roadmap.sh. आप गूगल डाल दोगे तो मिल जाएगा वैसे.
नहीं सर, उसके साथ और भी लिंक्स थे. वो
उसके
बोल
साथ-
रहे थे
ML का मैं
ML शेयर करते.
ML का, okay.
ओके.
I'll be sharing all this with you. You know
यस
what?
सर.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
हॅलो अविनाश सर, थँक्यू.
Yes, Rohini.
आपलं सेशन होणार आहे का यानंतर?
Yes, yes, yes. होणार आहे.
ओके ओके, थँक्यू.
But mostly online will, because I'll be having lunch in that time.
ओके, ऑन द सेम टाइम ना, इट्स 2
Yes, yes,
PM.
yes. Same time, but it may get delay by maybe 10 minutes or so.
या श्योर श्योर. थँक्यू.
Okay. Thank you.
थँक्यू फॉर द गेस्ट लेक्चर.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Have a good day to you.